Hello, this is Kilo 5, Kilo Alpha Bravo. My handle is KB, just the two letters of K and a B, but I'm more affectionately called Kilo 5, Kilowatts and Bourbon. Let me welcome you to the Clubhouse.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Ham Radio Clubhouse on a Tuesday night, 7 o'clock.
What's up? You know what I wanted to do? I wanted to hit besides that, I wanted to hit everybody in the chat. That music was one of those. I want to high five everybody right down the line.
Were you running out like a basketball game? You're going out giving high fives as you're coming out on the court?
Hey, man, Kerry got it going. That man got it going. And then it was just like, Izzo.
Well, normally we would keep our guests in the green room for at least a half hour, 45 minutes, and then bring him out. But with a personality as big as KB's, we decided, you know what, you might as well just bring him on out. So KB, welcome to the show. Welcome to the Clubhouse. I'm going to make an adjustment here. I know it's going to throw everybody. There we go.
There you go.
There we go. That makes a little bit more sense. Make you the highlight of the show. Welcome. I'll start with Steve, man. I noticed you're late to the show. How's the week? You starting out? What's new, buddy?
Well, we got the shop open Saturday. If it could go wrong, it went wrong.
Always.
Kind of deal. The handyman hooked up the little tub for us and had the drain above the bottom of the door in the tub.
Oh.
So water ended up all over the floor. That was a haul tail run to the hardware store and correct his mistakes.
Did you send him a bill?
It's coming.
Steve did the toilet flush. Steve did the toilet. That priority one. Priority one. Did the toilet flush.
Toilet works fine.
There you
and
go.
we actually have a full-size bath in the shop. So
nice.
That's two.
Should something happen while bathing a dog, we can shower and change clothes and all that good stuff.
Emergency holiday. That's three.
Well, it would look kind of funny if Steve was trying to take a shower where they bathe the dogs at. That'd be
or fit the 50-inch tub.
Or right next to that. Hey, German Shepherd, move over a little bit.
Some elbow room.
So,
elbow room, German Shepherd.
But no, things are going good. How's my audio? I'm seeing.
You sound good, man.
Okay.
No, you're good.
But yeah, came in the shack tonight to hop on here, and my computer said, "Oh, hey, we need to update. Time to restart."
Oh, Windows.
Yeah. So,
well, I'm glad you made it, man.
Yep. Other than that, things are good. I had to charge the battery on the winch for the tower. I was going to have the tower up today, but battery decided, yeah, no, I'm not raising that thing. So it's coming.
Always when you want to.
Always.
How about yourself, man? How you been? What are you smoking tonight?
Well, let me see if I can get this in the camera. A Tatawai.
Oh yeah.
A what?
A Tatawai Grand Conchuna. This is the 2021 anniversary.
It's funny. The only thing he can pronounce is the damn hardest Nicaraguans.
Nicaraguan. Is that what's written in the white letters? Cursive or something?
Tatawai. Hang on.
Because that on the
right there. Tatauaje.
At first, I was looking at the gold band. I'm like, dude, that starts with a C. I don't know about that.
This is the Conjun 20. Yes. I could speak cigar language without effing it up.
English, that's a different story.
That well, this is a good cigar because we got a great guy on tonight, and this is what you do when you're a cigar smoker. It's like bourbon. Now he's going to yell at me later. He's going to say to me, Izzo, you don't drink bourbon. You don't drink the Buffalo Trace to all the other stuff. See?
Can you see that? Can you see that?
But
come on, Steve, do it right.
From the Bourbon Trail.
Bourbon Trail.
But I figure at least let me meet him halfway with a good cigar. So.
There you go.
I'll take that. That's halfway. I can accept that.
And maybe someday my palate will change and I will like a good bourbon. But for right now, it's
you could do a barrel aged tequila, man. I know you like tequila.
There you go.
I've never heard of barrel aged tequila.
All right, then I got something to send you. I mean, I'm going to buy it at your local store and have them drop ship it to you.
Exactly, drizzle.
Now that's a brother. That's a brother.
Right?
I love you, but I'm not paying that much. But, no, everything's going good, man. Weather up here, listen, I'm not going to be a complainer as compared to other parts of the United States, but it was bitch ass cold, and it's just hard sometimes to get motivated. The brothers and the sisters up here of the Poto World in Connecticut last weekend did a fantastic job lighting up a lot of the Connecticut parks. They did a special event. Unfortunately, I had to work because I had to save my time for upcoming Winter Field Day, which I'll be participating in. We'll talk a little bit about that later in the show. But I've been just home chasing a lot, and just I've been playing with that Yaesu FT 891. The 705 gave me a look. You know, guys, when you have a dog, when you have a dog, and then you get the second dog, and then the first dog is like, "What about me?" That 705 looked at me, and I swear it gave me the middle finger a couple times.
It's like you haven't keyed me up lately.
You haven't touched me. Push my buttons. Push my button is up. So I did that on Sunday night with Kevin's QRP net. That was fun, getting into Ohio and South Carolina with like a half a watt. So I told the 891, you got to go over there for a while. I got to give some love and attention to the 705. So I got to tell you, I can never be in one of these religions that has multiple women. There's just no way of keeping them happy. And I think radios are the same way, because that radio was I'm telling you, that 705 was looking at me like, you better get over here right now. You better.
And you know what's going to happen the next time you go POTA with it. It's going to just say, nope.
No, because Mama 7300 says, I'm his number one. No, but isn't it funny, man? For guys who have cars, it's the same way. It's like Jay Leno has warehouses of vehicles.
Oh, yeah.
How does he give all that TLC?
He pays
KB,
people too.
Listen, guys, go on KB's website. Don't do it tomorrow. Do it later on, but later go to QRZ and go to KB. You want to look at it at an incredible ham shack of amplifiers, radios, audio, microphones. I was playing I Spy with all the pictures that he did. I'm like, I know that. I'm like, what the heck is that? But he goes into the elegance of the Paramount of incredible stations.
Oh man,
that's deep, Izzo.
Hey, KB, I got some stuff for you then, brother. Just need to come over to South Carolina and pick it up.
Oh man, don't threaten me with a good time, man. I have a U-Haul at your door. Don't do that.
Don't gotta say that twice.
I'm telling you that.
I just logged my vacation time. I'll see you tomorrow.
Come on.
And Shane could give me that bottle in his so I can meet you halfway with that.
Hey, there you go.
We're gonna see. That's how it gets done. And then we're gonna stay at Joe Brett's house. So it's all how it all works out. Look at Joe Brett said, "What?"
Yeah. I don't know. It might be a little slick trying to get into Joe Brett's place.
Yeah, we got 4-wheel drive.
Right? Did you finally thaw out, Joe?
Yeah, but okay, no.
Here we go. No.
All right, so I was looking. It's currently showing to be 45. I think it said outside. No, 55. I'm sorry, 55. And that's about what it's been all day. And it's been raining. I figured as soon as it started raining, that stuff's gonna wash out, right? Well, now all the slush and stuff has kind of washed out, but then it's left that stuff that's real crystal clear that you cannot freaking see on the sidewalk.
The black ice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the road's pretty clear. They brought the some of y'all in the country will understand what a road grader is.
It's a maintainer.
Yeah. So
The maintainer.
They came and scraped the road yesterday, the paved part of it, and it's a lot cleaner. But so this started in North Mississippi about Saturday and into Sundays when it really started getting froze up. School's still out.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because the part that they did not scrape was the gravel turnaround spot for the school bus. And I watched the neighbor spinning and couldn't get up his driveway this morning. And I'm like, really? But it just won't go away. So hopefully maybe by tomorrow.
How long have you been out of school for? Like 3 days or for last week too?
Entire last week, yesterday, today,
What?
tomorrow's up in the
serious?
air. Mm-hmm. Oh, guess what? So
we
was
Connecticut.
In the 70s. Go ahead.
We've been kind of poking. The youngest boy, which is 15 now, is the only one we got left in grade school. And so we just kind of poking at him over supper and stuff like, man, y'all ain't going to have no summer this year, And he's like, I know. Well, then he got all happy later on and said, guess what? They declared state of emergency. That means we ain't got to make the days up. I'm like, that little slick folks, because the teachers don't want to be there. No, they don't want to miss their spring break in summer. So I was like, always a way to work the system.
Yeah. Thanks, Governor.
Yeah. So anyway, no new news with me on radio. I enjoyed the slowdown time and the family time. I did make me a little 3D print to mount my remote head in the Tahoe without having to mount it. Pretty cool. But besides that, we got out every day and walked around, let the dog play, let the kids play, we play, whatever. We're out on the ice and stuff every day.
How many times you wrecked that scooter?
Just that one time. It was on video.
Just that one time?
Yeah.
There's evidence of anyway.
That was like Shane's 7300.
Yeah.
One drop.
Only fell once.
So Sunday afternoon would have been the seventh day. Well, you count Sunday, that I guess it'd be about the seventh day. Anyway, 7 or 8 days of playing around on the ice. Everything's going good. My wife decides to mess it all up.
Oh.
Yep. I'm opening the door of the shack and I hear her scream and look around and see her toboggan or beanie hat, whatever y'all call it, fly all over the place. I told her, I said, she's still complaining a lot of pain. I said, you might want to go get that checked out. And she's got a stress fracture in one rib and contusions on 3 others.
Oh, and the ribs are the worst one because they can't do anything about it. You just have to sit there and go.
It hurts, and it hurts to laugh. It hurts to cough.
Yeah.
It hurts to breathe.
It hurts to do
everything.
Yeah.
So that means she's not cooking. That's what that really means. I love her and everything, but you know what that means. That means she ain't cooking.
Yeah, she was in the kitchen, but I was cooking. So
She's sleeping in the recliner.
She has been suggested to, but she don't like that idea. But I'm going to say she's going to learn to like it. I told her it's great. That's where I end up most of the time anyway.
Right?
Listen. One accidental Joe Brett, one accidental rollover by you,
or her,
hit her, or the dog. It doesn't make a difference.
Oh yeah, that's been the worst thing so far as the dog, because he loves to greet you when you come home, and yeah. So jump up on the side of your leg or something. So, but yeah, other than that, I was just excited that KB here accepted my invitation. Because we all kind of look for guests every now and then, but I feel like sometimes I have a different way of looking for them. And I like to look for guests that, not in KB's instance, but I like to look for folks that necessarily nobody's ever really known inside the radio community, but I found a way to tie them in. Okay, there you go. Well, there was a reason I picked you. And so I don't know, one day browsing YouTube, I see this dude going live and I'm like, let's see what kind of skills he got. And as soon as audio started playing, I was like, I gotta go to the shack. And I tuned in and made contact.
You move, KB. You move Joe Brett. Because if you can move Joe Brett,
look, man, there ain't a lot of people that can get me out here to the shack just on a whim.
Especially when it's this cold,
out, slippery conditions, raining,
and you didn't even ask, So yeah, man, I was like, this guy's got he's got a good amount of subscribers. Yeah, I'll let him tell his story and stuff here in a little while, but I think he's been doing really good for the amount of time he's been doing it. And I told him, talking with him privately, it's obvious you got, that personality and everything that you got. I said, man, somebody having a bad day, tune in to KB. Watch his, if he ain't live, watch a replay.
Watch a replay, exactly.
It's about that bodacious audio. I swear to God, there's something.
Well, I'm just going to segue into it. I don't have anything better to add. I work too much, and the radio I was going to show y'all tonight kind of shit the bed, so I can't show that until I get it fixed. So I'm just going to segue in. KB, welcome to the Clubhouse. Quick shout out to everybody that's in green for supporting the channel. Thank you guys for being here. We appreciate it as always. KB, how are you, my friend? Welcome. I'll let you talk.
Oh man. Thanks, guys. Thanks. I definitely appreciate you guys, man. And Joe Brett, man, I appreciate you for even inviting me. And I must say, man, a bunch of you guys, I often sit up and go on YouTube and I look at your videos, because you guys are in the big boy league, man. You guys are in the big boy league. I was looking today. I haven't been doing this a year yet. On the 27th to be a year, and man, I'm just so ecstatic to even be here, to even be considered to be on the show. And man, I'm just and I say this all the time, man. I don't recall having a bad day. I just don't, because I really believe that we kind of make our days. I might
absolutely.
Have bad.
Man, you sure we ain't brothers, KB?
Joe,
are you sure?
I was gonna say something about that, because I know you're from up north Mississippi, and I'm from the middle of Mississippi.
Yeah,
and I just want to ask you to see a picture of your dad.
I think the family tree is pretty close somewhere, man.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I just want to leave it alone.
The reason I say that, because my wife asked me, how can you wake up so happy? Why are you so chipper in the morning? I said, babe, it's a choice. Okay?
I woke up breathing.
It's a choice, and that's what I choose.
Hey, that's awesome. You're absolutely right. It's definitely a choice, man. And like I said, I might have 1 or 2 minutes of issues, but man, they're gone away, and I'm on to the next thing. And you're right. It rubs my wife, because we can have a spat or something, and she can say, "Man, I just don't understand how you could just go back to being normal." Well, what am I sitting up sulking about? It's your choice to be happy. And so, man, I just choose that. And so I like to bring, I guess, my personality and my happiness to other people, man, because some people didn't have a good day. And it costs me nothing to be nice and to be who I am. And especially if it's going to help somebody else push through the next couple of hours or so, you know?
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the reasons why we started this show. We call it the Tuesday night escape, or it's the Tuesday night of, if you need to come talk to a psychiatrist that's unlicensed, or you need some unlicensed therapy. That's what Tuesday night is.
Hey,
guess what?
Wait. Okay,
We'll never tell you. We'll never tell you to jump off the bridge. We'll never tell you to jump off the bridge.
Look at that.
JB and KB are sequential.
Just like in the alphabet, first you got JB, and now I introduce you to KB.
Wow.
That was deep, Jason. Thanks for
That's
that.
the singers right there.
Now, if you do see, that's one of those cameo things we're going to start selling. And Joe Brett, you just got to knock it down to a little. You got to give me a little bit more of that Mississippi bass.
Yeah.
Just
I got to start ending my videos. Now you watch JB. Go check out KB.
Hey, there it is. Look at that.
And listen, and there go again. I didn't put that reference together, JB, but JK, I don't know. I don't want to ask you about your dad, and we're going to just leave it.
He was wild, man.
Until the ancestry puts your name on my thing, man, I'm just going to leave it alone.
So KB, how did you end up in this crazy hobby of ham radio? Because I'm looking in the back of your room, and I know you say on some of your live streams that that's just a green screen, but I know better.
That's a green screen. That is a green screen back there, man.
How did you get into this hobby? What brought you here?
Well, you want me to tell my story? Or,
yeah.
I can do that. Not a problem.
They don't want to hear me. They want to hear you. Absolutely.
They've heard us for over 2 years now. They're looking forward to you guys.
I have been in this radio community, man, for I want to say about 30 years. But I was on the CB side, the citizen band.
11 meters.
Yep, 11 meters. And I felt like I was one of the heavy hitters down on 11 meters, man. And I kept getting issues with my neighbor. I don't live like
cable. This is all before cable.
You put lines in the TV.
The neighbor come over and said, "Why do I keep hearing you say bye, bye, bye?"
Why'd I get static and your voice is in there? I don't know.
Yeah. And so after about 3 or 4 of those, man, I just decided, I got to figure out something else to do. And I was actually just kind of getting away from the radio in all. And a friend of mine says, "Man, you ever thought about ham radio?" And I was like, what is that exactly? And after I got introduced to it, I want to say back in about 2000 and I want to say 1 or somewhere in there, I went and got my license. And man, it did. It fixed my RF need that I had. And so doing that, I just enjoyed different aspects of ham radio, all of it, actually. I love antenna building. I try. They don't ever work, but I try.
That's like half the ones that I build. They look good.
So I just started from there. And what happened was, I want to say, well, I know for a fact, last year about the first part of January, I was kind of listening on my radio, actually on some headphones on my cell phone. And a gentleman out of Florida came in, and I want to say his call is like Whiskey 7 Hotel Uniform Alex out of Florida.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he was going live, and man, I was like, wow, that's interesting. And so I left work early that day so that I could get home and turn on that radio because I wanted to hear myself going through his show. And so I made that contact. And then I caught myself a couple of days later doing it again. And I was like, man, how cool is that? And so I actually gave him a call. And I said, man,
7 Hotel Uniform.
That's him, man. That's the guy. And so I said, man, why can't I do this? So I called him, and he kind of gave me some info. And one thing he told me is to sell my radio. He says, man,
get out now while you can.
Yeah,
don't do it,
man. So I didn't feel like that was going anywhere. And but I did take the information he gave me, and I started developing my own plan. And man, I had no idea that I was going to be into this the way that I am. Like I stated earlier, so many people compliment me on the fact of I guess, my personality and the way I make them feel on the air. And so I was like, man, that's cool because I like it too. And so, man, I just get out there and just do what I normally would do because it's not a radio personality. None of that. It's just my personality. It's just who I am. I've never used
the F word.
Frequency.
I'm having fun.
Yeah, I'm having fun. And I never really met a stranger ever, and I talk to everybody. And so you either can accept it or not. And, and I can do the not part, nicely. And but man, I'm having fun. I'm having fun. And so I'm just thinking I can just draw everybody to me to have fun with me because it's fun to me.
Absolutely. That's why we're doing this well, that's why most of us are doing this because I got my tech in 2016 and I used it for about 2 years and then I did away with it. And then in 2020, I upgraded to General, and the K5QBF is my grandfather's call sign from the 50s.
Oh, that's dope.
It was still available. So when I upgraded to General, I said, okay, I'm taking his call sign. So on my QRZ page, I've got a picture of my granddad working the radio using K5QBF. And I have a picture of, back in the day, they used to do call books. And they'd send them out a couple times a year of all the new calls that were issued. And I found the first entry for him was 1958. So his name and his address and the call sign, and he stopped in about 68, 69. He stopped actively participating, but it was cool to get that. So this hobby it's a hobby amongst hobbies, I think.
Man, that's dope. Yeah, that's really dope. I didn't have anyone to get their call sign. I have a hard time even explaining to relatives and friends exactly what ham radio is. So I think
just tell them to tune into the Ham Radio Clubhouse on Tuesday nights. We'll tell them exactly what ham radio is.
I can do that.
I watched the show for 2 hours and didn't hear radio once.
Man, I can do that.
That guy would not shut up. The guy with the cigar would not shut up.
This other guy got dragged out of the shack by his wife. Jeez.
Yeah, really.
Speaking of
and the
cigars,
other guy in the corner is always quiet. What's up with him?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Welcome
That's
back,
my
Shaq
thing,
and Greg.
man.
To the cigar lounge.
Oh, welcome back.
And
Thank you. Thank you, Greg.
N1JUR. Welcome to Please Copy.
All right.
guys,
Well, thank you guys. Thanks for the support.
If y'all don't mind, shameless plug, Eric and the boys from up there in New Hampshire sent me a T-shirt. When it gets a little bit warmer, I'm going to wear it here on Tuesday nights. And those guys are fantastic. Another good group around the country doing some great things. Ambassadors of ham radio. So to the boys in New Hampshire, thank you, man. I appreciate that T-shirt. That was very thoughtful. So
KB,
I promise not to watch the truck with it.
KB, do you do like Parks on the Air, any portable stuff, or are you just in the shack hanging out hunting all of us idiots that go out in the parks?
I think I really have. I think I really have RF bad, man, like really bad, and maybe it's something I need to deal with. And I don't know the therapist that you would go to, but I am definitely not
KAMRD.
I am not a QRP guy. And 50 watts and 100 watts, that don't even start to get me excited. So
100 watts is QRP.
100 watts. That's his exciter, is what he's telling you.
Oh man,
that's the exciter to those Henrys over there.
The Henrys. Wait. How about the LG Master?
Hello,
Master.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
who is that?
Is that a Master? No, that's not the Master Pro. That's the Master.
That's
was
the Master,
first one.
yeah.
That was
KB,
the first one that
that's
came
what
out.
I said I got for you.
Listen, Steve. Do not. I will take off Friday morning and head that way.
There's two of them. There's two.
Oh me.
Are you serious?
I've got to clean out this building. Hang on. Let's flip through some pictures.
Shit.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Cat
All
repeater
right.
controller on a duplexer there.
What cat is that? 500,
Feline.
250, 200?
I have no clue.
Oh, that's what I figured. You ain't even look.
What is
Hey,
growing
dog.
out of that air conditioner?
Is that black mold? Is that the black mold growing?
I got to do some work.
Is that
Hopefully
a
you got some
two-channel?
respirator.
Wait! Is that a 2-channel radio about the AC? Is
Right there.
that one of those old General Electric 2 channels?
That's what it looks like.
Hang on.
Oh my God!
Is
Is it the
you're probably
intercom?
gonna have to wipe it off and tell us later.
Nope, that's the
the
heating
cooling
and
unit.
Oh,
That's
it's
the
a
thermostat.
thermostat.
See, we can fantasize, can't we?
Yeah.
Well, look, there's an antenna over by the wrapped up cord.
Yeah.
That was an
Look
antenna.
at that.
I
But-
spy.
There's the duplexer that we're going to tune to put the repeater back on should the city allow us to come back into the shack. That's the old repeater.
Oh, goodness. What
Yeah.
kind of rats? Send that to Hayden.
Bro, that's got tubes in it.
Oh wow.
Send that
Why'd
to
they
Hayden.
leave the paintbrush?
Just the thing
Yeah.
on.
The dust the tubes off.
You see the master?
That's probably
sitting right
exactly
back
what
there.
that's for.
You see the master right there? It's
Yep.
sitting on top of another one.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
And yes,
jeez.
that is coils of feed line. I think it's split into 2 pieces. But
That's some hard line.
So is that
Yes, it
the
is.
power supply with the tubes on it?
uh-huh.
Yeah. See, I was when I convinced a guy that when I was looking for my repeater pair and I could not freaking find a 2-meter repeater pair, I found one that was still listed, but I hadn't heard in 20 years. So I found the guy and got him to relinquish the coordination over to me. And he's like, "Hey, the original repeater's still in the fire tower. You can have it. You can get to it."
If you can get
So
it.
I knew people that got me to it. And yeah, I had to take it apart in like 5 different pieces because that power supply was, geez, man, you about needed a crane.
How much do those GE Masters weigh? About 350 pounds each?
Yep, 350.
Yeah,
And 250 of that's the power supply.
probably.
me
That's
tell you
a
something.
440 antenna there
Oh, nice.
that we need to redo the whip on it.
Yeah.
It's
There's-
whip.
There's a Ringo Ranger up on top of the water tower. And mind you, that's 500,000 gallons of water sitting over my head. So
That's a great shower you got there.
yeah, there'd be nothing left of you. But yeah, we got to do some work on the building. It's kind of an eyesore, and they're talking about wanting to tear it down. But if I can get the club to put the money in, we're going to refurb the building.
It wouldn't take too much to make the outside cosmetics look
Yeah.
nice.
A little bit of paint,
A little bit of paint.
a
Well,
little scratching around. Yeah, a little replacing of some of the stuff that's brown.
Bondo and sandpaper fill that
I
in.
don't know.
Quite a bit of it.
Bondo and sandpaper.
Yeah.
Just some wood filler, man.
I'm going on that government.com
Wait a minute.
website there. and-
Even easier than that, just get some of that spray foam, and after it dries, just saw it off easy,
Just
man.
sand
And
it
then paint
down.
it. Yeah.
Well,
redo
wait, there's
around the
more.
window. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are
Dude, those GEs back in 1990, 1991, I learned how to dumpster dive. And I don't know if the statute of limitations, so I won't mention the federal agency, but they were throwing this stuff away. And
Jeez.
since I was the young guy, I learned how to dumpster. I didn't realize how heavy those things were.
Oh, yeah.
And we had a GE Master 2, and
There's two of them. Yeah.
And the term the term bulletproof doesn't really even do it justice.
no.
Because those things will just run and run and run. They just,
Like that fan that doesn't have a switch on it.
Oh,
right.
Yeah. you see that, right?
Man, that was a quick catch.
Take a look
Oh,
at that
very
hard line.
good.
At least
Take a
the
look-
shack's grounded.
Take a look
The
at that
shack-
hard line.
Wow.
That is solid hard
Oh,
line.
yeah. Yeah.
Izzo, I'm with you. I was being in the military, and man, I can't tell you how much stuff that they would take out and literally throw in a dumpster because they want to be able to get funded for the following year coming.
That's how you
So,
do it.
man,
Throw in a dumpster
I can't.
overboard.
I'm with you. I think I want to say after 20 or 30 years, I don't think they can get you no more because, man, at one point you could come into my shack, man, and if you say attention, everything in there will stand up.
Oh, man. There we go.
Man.
Everything's like,
Save that. Hey, somebody better save that one for for the anniversary show. That goes in the anniversary show.
When you walk
there.
into your shack and you say salute, and everything's like,
everything. Listen, that was 30 years ago. I'm sure that time. I don't know, Joe Brad. We can't get in trouble 30 years ago, can we?
no. Most of those people are probably dead and gone by now.
Man, I'm talking about they threw away a lot of different things, man.
They did.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't even begin to tell you some stuff because you guys would. Man, it was horrible.
Oh, man,
they threw away some stuff.
I've seen them pushing helicopters off the back of a boat. So
without a doubt.
I'm sure Izzo's seen it like I have. Just at our local government places that we work. It's just sad the way, like, they're mandated to on most things. Some things I guess they can auction or something like that. But like, we upgrade cell phones at the office. Guess what happens to the old ones? We run them over with a truck or smash them with a hammer and throw them in the trash. And I'm like, I collected like 10 and put in a Walmart sack and brought them home, busted screens and stuff, and found a couple that I could make still work. I'm like, that.
Reset.
All right. When we went to digital radios, all our car analog radios, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a gold mine. Well, I tested one of them out on the ham bands, got the programming stuff for it, and it needs either like a lot of retuning or something, but it just would not work. No power output, no receive. So I still talked them into letting me take them home for just a little bit. I said, I'm going to help y'all destroy them. Okay. I promise.
I'll bring them back eventually.
So I started gutting and cutting parts off of them, kept all the power leads and mics and all that. And then I said, okay, and then we went back and smashed them, and it's just sad, dude.
Yeah, I used to drive it was like a part-time job, not a job, but one of my duties. When we would go from different base, I would actually drive these big cargo trucks to Shepherd's Air Force Base, to what they call the DRMO, to demolish some of this stuff. Well, on one particular load I had, and man, you guys hold your horses. On one particular load I had, when they opened up the crates in the back, I had about 5 crates. One of the crates was filled from the bottom of the crate to the top with R390s. And I'm standing there, and when he pushed that crate off and started smashing it with the forklift, I said, stop. And I asked him, I said, is R390s in all of those crates? And he said, I don't know. So we opened them up, and it was. And I told him, I said, listen, man, I cannot allow you to do that. And so I gave him a little money, and he let me get about 12. And so I had stacked up in my room 12 R390s at one point.
Buddy of mine went to one of those Dermo auctions, and there was a 3 crate lot. They didn't know what was in the crate. He had to buy it sight unseen. He rolled out of there with a Willys Jeep, never assembled. The tires were so bad, but we still drove it around.
Yes, because we
That's
paid
crazy.
for that. We paid for that. Why not? We paid for that. That's
incredible.
I'm watching all the comments, man. I tell you, the comments have been for the last 37 minutes are incredible.
That was a good topic, but I kind of feel like it brought the mood down a little bit.
Well, let me step it back up there. I was listening to Izzo a second ago, and he said to Shane, he says, now, wow, that's a brother. He was going to just buy him the alcohol at the place there. And I thought about that, and I realized I thought about a trip that Joe Brett took to Texas. I didn't know Joe Brett at the time, and but I must say right now, to get it off of my chest, I felt a certain way, because I'm saying to myself, man, if he's coming through Texas, why he didn't put it out so everybody could know? And maybe I could at least got to the store and shook his hand or something of that nature. But then I said, well, maybe I'm just not his cup of tea. But then I listened to the show a couple weeks ago, and somebody on here, I'm not calling names. I don't do the name calling and stuff.
Oh, we do.
No, they had a shout
out. It's a hug. It's a brotherly hug.
I'll call names then. Shane had an issue with Joe Brett, who drove 15 hours from Mississippi, and he didn't see him. I was like, what is going on here?
I swear, man. I was like, you come to Texas.
All right, thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you next
time.
Wow.
Dude, I come to Texas, you come say hi. Hey, I come to Texas, and you still 10 hours away from it. Texas, is just too big.
It really is.
It's huge.
It really is.
But dang, they overachievers, man.
And it's hilarious to me in Texas, like where Shane is at. I guess he's about 45 minutes or so from me. That's like a normal drive, 45 minutes or an hour. Yeah, that's so normal. But like in a Mississippi, you drive an hour from where you're in Jackson or something. A whole different.
3 hours, 6 hours. I'm on the beach.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
6 hours,
normal.
6 hours from me. I'm just on the east side of Dallas.
Yeah.
You're Tyler. Congratulations, you made it to Tyler. I used to drive over the road trucks, and my route most of the time was from Dallas to Riverside, California. My halfway point, halfway to California, was El Paso, Texas.
Oh wow, you're right.
So I would leave Dallas, and half of my week was going to El Paso. Well, the day I'd get a day to get to El Paso, and then another drive day to get to Riverside, California. But it's crazy. Like Texas is about that big.
It's huge. It's huge.
It's bigger.
I think it's 10 hours. 10 hours from Dallas to the state line going west. It's 10 hours. But I do like out there. I think the speed limit is like 85 miles an hour.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the only thing that you're gonna hit's a tumbleweed. once you get past Abilene, there's nothing out there till you get to Midland, Odessa. And once you pass Midland, Odessa, there ain't nothing but tumbleweeds. And you look in your rearview mirror and you see the lights of Midland, Odessa fading, and there's nothing but black in front of you, and you're like, is there civilization out here? Do people live out here? Am I going to die if I keep driving?
AAA, where are you?
You gotta have a cell phone signal to get AAA. You're out there looking for the Marfa lights.
I had a question. I watched some of these shows, and I was trying to figure out what exactly is the toads.
Oh no! Stay away from them. No.
You play with the toads, you end up, when they pee on you, you're gonna get
warts.
You're gonna get warts.
So
all seriousness,
our friends over at Coffee and Ham Radios, another twice weekly show. They do an early morning show on Saturday. I think or T.O. does a Monday night Nuggets, and then there's a Thursday night Cafe Noir, I believe. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure one of them's in the chat. But anyway, so Toads is their Discord. I think it was at one point it was totally awesome something, or I don't care. It changes what it means every now and then, but that's another Discord. It's the Toads Discord. Oh, okay. And someone in the chat, I guarantee you, someone in the chat's going to correct me on that. But just like the K5YVY and Friends Discord, there's the Toads Discord, and both of those are linked down in the description of the video if you would like. There we go. Acronym for TO's. TO's awesome Discord server. There you go.
KB, in all seriousness, think of it this way. When you go out to family, they are our family in another county, another state, whatever. They are an awesome group of guys. I say that very sincerely. We kid each other. We kid each other.
Oh yeah, we razz each other all the time.
Oh, we get down on all fours and we'll get in the mud and we'll throw the mud. We'll throw the manure every once in a while. Yeah. But in all seriousness, if any one of those guys needed me, I get in my truck and I would do whatever I got to do for them.
Crazy thing is, somebody posted on Facebook on my local repeater Facebook group about the TO or the Toads YSF room.
Oh, nice!
And of course, I had to throw shade in there, and I told them I was just joking. But they're great guys. If you needed any help, reach out, let me know. So.
All right, I'm glad you cleared that up.
Yeah, Toads is another group, a fantastic group of folks. We don't the biggest social media presence that we have is Discord. I don't know if you've jumped into that level of social media. It's a collection. I'm trying to think of how to. It's like MySpace for your friends. If you remember the MySpace days,
and there's no competition.
Right.
There is zero competition. We are all here to support each other.
Right. So the K5. The K5YVY and Friends Discord server is people who voluntarily elect to be a part of a group of folks to hang out. I think there's probably, what are we up to? Are we over 1,000 yet, Joe Brett? I don't know yet.
I don't look, I'm close to it.
Yeah. So we have different, what they call channels. I don't know if you and I probably have the same sort of social media at some point. There's chat channels or chat rooms that are inside of these servers. So there's like the general, there's like the Clubhouse, the chat, there's like our challenges that we do, which, speaking of, with this, we've got the Extra by Easter that we're doing this year. Great segue. You think I did this by chance?
Shameless plug.
So a shameless plug. So we put out a challenge every year. What's that?
897 members.
847 suckers have decided to join up for
897.
897?
897.
Oh, almost 1,000. But it's just a group. It's a place for people to come and hang out. And if they have questions about ham radio, if they have questions about an upgrade, if they have anything and everything, they're selling ham gear. It's in that area, and it keeps people off Facebook. It keeps it off Twitter. It keeps it off all the other social medias, and it's all private to people who want to be here. But if I'm not mistaken, KB, did you recently upgrade to Extra?
I did, and I actually have that on my list to talk about. Listen, let me talk about it since we're there. I was listening to you saying Extra by Easter, and I was listening at your test scores that you was taking, and I feel like I have thorough knowledge on taking the exam now. I'm an instructor here. I'm an instructor here now.
All right, help
Listen, becoming, and I'm not trying to downplay my accomplishment. I'm really excited about it. It took me 20 years, and I should have did it 20 years ago, because the test isn't that difficult. It is a piece of cake. And I'm just saying that, and I'm not saying that for the ones that have failed it. It's not that way, but I'm saying if you know how to study, it becomes very easy.
All right, and keep on going.
Yeah, I'm going with this. And let me just tell you how to do this. And I got a friend of mine now on one of the subscribers. I got him doing it. Listen, the way to do it is I would take that ham prep course with the videos and all of that. I would order that for myself. And if you would sit there and go through each video on the ham prep, don't take no tests. Don't do the little summary tests in the back or none of that. Just literally listen to the videos. Just listen to them, every one, all the way through. Once you get done with that, if you would get the book, All Ham, No Spam.
I haven't heard of that one.
Okay. That's Craig Buck, Kilo 4, India Alpha, I think.
Hold on, I gotta write this stuff down. This is why we keep. No,
it's called All Ham, No Spam. Get that book, and I don't know, maybe it's only like $25. That book, if you read it, is divided up in halves. The first half is his rendition of how you should study for the test. It'll give you a question, and it'll kind of give you an idea of the answer or whatever, or what's going on with that. But the second half of the book is all questions and answers. That's it. And I know now that it's 600 questions to that test, and they're going to only ask you 50 of them. Mm-hmm. So I would do the prep, all the videos, but this is the key. This is the key, and this is what got me my ears up with Shane. It can't take 2 months to take this test. You have to do it in about 3 weeks. The first week, I would go through prep, and I would go through it hard. The second week, I would do question on the front of that book. The third week, I would do question and answer. And my wife, she's a scholar. She's different. She's a scholar. She broke the test down for me. It had 600 questions. How long did it take you to read the question and answer? I said 15 seconds, 20 seconds. So we multiplied 20 seconds by the 600, 1,200, whatever, come down to the minutes, yada, yada. It should take you 3 hours and about 20 minutes to get through 600 questions with question, answer, question, answer.
3 days.
But nope, here we go. You got to power through. You got to power through.
You got to go to the bathroom too.
You should be able to get through 3 hours of that in about 1 day. I would come home from work, come up these stairs where I'm at right now. I would get here about 5 o'clock. And
don't turn on the radio.
Nope, no radio. From 5 to 9, I would be studying. I would read question and answer. When I get done with those 600, I go eat and go to bed. The next day, I would do a video. I would do all the videos, as many as I can. The following day, I did the 600 again. I did that for 2 weeks. And on that end of that second week, I took the test and I missed 4 questions.
Oh, look at that.
Nice. All right, so KB, question now. You said watch the videos. Any suggestion on are they on YouTube or where are they? Or who's sponsoring these videos?
Ham Prep.
Ham Prep. Okay.
It's called Ham Prep.
Got it. Okay.
Yep, Ham Radio Prep is what it's called. Ham Radio Prep is what it's called. And listen, don't take no tests. Don't take no tests because you don't want to get no wrong answers in your brain.
Yep.
And trust me on this, if I would have known this, as I told my wife, man, I've been dating my wife since high school. And we went to different colleges. And I said, man,
she's right.
Why you just didn't tell me how to study before? Because if I knew how to study, I probably would have did a whole lot better in college, man.
Yep.
Because I didn't know how to study. I
a
always
whole lot better in
assumed,
high school.
Oh man, yeah. I just assumed that I was just an average student. But man, after she showed me how to study, I was like, that's a damn cheat code.
All right, now I gotta ask you a question.
Up, down, left, right. I'm sorry.
All right. Now I gotta ask you a question. All right, so here we go. Now, most younger people are in study mode because KB, I have a daughter in college, my son's in high school. God, I am so grateful they're smarter than me. They're smarter, not only book smart, but also just they have that good common sense. They got that from my DNA, and also their mom too. But anyway, they study stuff now and they pick it up faster than me. Okay, I'm going to be 60 in April. Okay, I'm finding it harder to concentrate and study material that A, I don't understand, and B, I don't feel is relevant. We were talking about this last night on the Nugget Show, the TO Show, Mug and Night here, that there are a lot of questions in the question pools, and you can't fight City Hall, but I put that mental block in me. Why do I need to learn this? Why do I need to learn that? There's like 4 or 5 chapters in there that have the bulk of the questions that really puts you either in that pass or fail mode at the 74th percentile level. So what do you recommend as far as when you hit these roadblocks? Let me tell you this. This is, man, I love this because now I feel like I should be an ambassador for taking this extra exam. That's what I feel like.
There you go. I'm telling everybody they should take this extra exam.
Listen, first of all, Izzo, and let me, I'm 50, I'll be 56 this year. I know what you are. I know what you are. But this is the deal. This is the deal. If I go through the path and I say, man, it's a creek on the right. Well, I'm sorry, a river, but I'm from Mississippi. It's a creek. Joe Brett ears stood up. I saw Joe Brett ears come up. He did. I saw his face. He's like, what? Listen, if I tell you it's a creek down on the right side and it's some warthogs or whatever, if I tell you this, that's because I've been down there. Listen, I've been where you are. Trust me on this. I was like, this test is ridiculous. It's nothing that I needed. No. All of it is interesting to us because that's what we do. We're ham operators.
I'm sorry. I don't like the SSTV stuff.
But what the issue is, you already letting it get you. You can't think about it. Do not think about it because this is what I'm telling you. I'm not telling you how to learn the information. I'm not the guy. What I'm telling you is how to pass the test.
Right.
Okay. You dig what I'm
Elmer's
saying?
will teach you the information.
Exactly. So don't worry about pulling out no pen and paper and trying to figure out those different formulas. None of that. Because what you're going to do is train your brain to know that when you see 0.5 on the test, that's the answer. To know that when you see 3.0 on the test, that's the answer. To know you see 7.14 on the test, that's the answer.
That's crazy because I know exactly what questions
and a lot of us have done that. Well, hang on now. A lot of us have gone through and you take the yellow highlighter. So you look at the question, you find the buzzwords, and you go right. You train your eye to go right to that yellow highlighter. I'm finding it now. I'm wandering. I'm wandering, and I'm looking at wrong answers, like you said.
Yep. That's why you go with ham, no spam. All ham, no spam. It don't show you no wrong answers. All you do is you're training your brain to recognize those answers. You don't care how they got to it. You don't care how they got to it. All you're doing
Correct.
is looking for the right answer, like microstrip. I don't know what that's about, but I know microstrip is an answer on that test. You see what?
So tell me, why do you think? So tell me, why do you feel in less than 30 days it's best? While it's still fresh, or what do you think?
Exactly, because once you get your mind going and you start training your brain on it, the longer you hesitate and wait, all the other stuff comes in. Like, I don't like this. Why do I need to take this? Yada yada. I don't think I'm ready yet. All I say is do it like I'm telling you, and listen. Trust the process. Just trust the process, and really know that this is what I did, what they said do, and I'm just gonna go take the test. And what the hell? It's only $14. So what did you take it 3 times?
You know, I'm going to quickly share my. I was about to say it's $10 if you go through the Clubhouse, because we're doing for those of you who are either participating. Maybe on another show. No, I got you, Joe Brick. Give me just a second. For those of you who are participating in the extra by Easter. There is a monthly test session that's going on, provided by Steve and Glarg. So it's a virtual test session. We have most of the VEs, I think, are going to be people that you've seen on YouTube that are providing, that are there to help you out. So each month, and mine's tomorrow. So KB, my extra test is tomorrow.
There you go.
So, I started this about 3.5-4 weeks ago. So I'm following kind of the progression that you're talking about. And I'm like, that's where I'm at right now. I've seen 100% of the questions, and I'm at 93% on all of them.
Well, there you go. Because that's the main part, is being able to see all the questions. That's why I say go through all 600 repeatedly to see all the questions and go take it. Because the cool thing about it is they're only going to ask you 50 questions.
Right. I 100% agree, but I want to say is people that want to upgrade. I think we're going to talk about this behind after we're done, but I think going forward, this should probably be twice a year. Will be a upgrade or an advanced by April or an advanced by October, something like that, because we want to foster an environment for people. What the hell are you doing? Oh, sorry, I'm just sitting here waiting. I got bored.
No, that's not on. Joe, that's not on the test, is it?
That's not on the test. We want to foster an environment to help people. We've got we have private study and private testing sessions for those of you who want to take your test virtually. So come join us, hang out with us. K5YVY and friend Discord down below. All right, Joe Britt, over to you.
All right.
See, it'd be a lot cooler if you let me talk for just a minute. So anyway, and it's probably not going to be cool at all. But so what KB was saying, and there's a lot of hate no matter what you do and where you do it and what you're doing. Just ignore that. Do you study? And we touched on this maybe last show even when we started talking about it. Study the way you study and works for you. But you talked about that time frame in between. When I get interested in anything, if I don't do it right then, I may not ever do it again, or may not think about it. Mm-hmm. So I bought a book, and I done it the way I was told to study and learn. Everything. Learn. All right. So I spent 2.5 months on that technician book. Went and took my test. Failed it by like 2. Mm-hmm. At the time it was $10. I slapped another $10 bill on the table, and I told them, give me another test. And they said, no, our policy is you wait a couple months and you come back and test again, study some more. And I said, if you don't have me another test right now, I'll never be back.
Gotta look at that. He's got
another
test. Him drinks.
Cause I knew what I second guessed myself on. I was like, give me another test. So anyway, talked him into giving me another test, got my tech. Well, kept my tech for 10 years because I was happy with that. Nobody ever showed me HF. I didn't know nothing about it. I wasn't watching YouTube or, anything like that to even see it. Finally, I was introduced 10 years later to HF by a local. Let me make a couple of contacts under his call sign. Hook. So I went and done it general, but I did an app on my phone, and I started doing the right answers, ignoring the wrong answers, right? Just doing the right answers. 2 weeks, I had my general from the time I started studying.
Yep.
If you want to call it. At the time I started memorizing.
Mhm.
All right.
Reviewing the questions.
Then I got interested in contesting. And then I got pissed off because some of those contesters and good DX stations was down in the extra portion. And I felt like, to be a good steward and honest, I would delete those contacts out of my log. So when they come knocking on my door with those sunglasses and suits, I ain't in my log. I don't know what you're talking about.
Uncle Charlie.
Yeah. So, so anyway, I decided, all right, the only way to fix this is to go get my extra. Same app on my phone, but for the extra test, 1 week. Went and got my extra.
Wow.
And
A week?
A week. Yeah.
Wow.
Dang, son.
I wasn't sure that I was ready, but I was doing good on the practice test. And you know, and just like KB said, this ain't a dig for anybody that's having a little trouble studying and hadn't been making the practice test. Look, that's why I said I had a technician for 10 years. So I had all that knowledge kind of burned into my brain because I've been doing the technician stuff for 10 years. It was a part of my life now. So general and extra, they all kind of like roll together, and then some new stuff as well. And so I think that's kind of why I was able to do that. And I may not be able to do it again, but that's how it worked out that time. So y'all do y'all.
Listen, that's awesome, Joe Brad. How are you studying though? I know you said you had it on your phone.
All right. So back in those days, I was on patrol, and I would find me a shade tree when I got bored and wasn't nothing going on. Pull out my phone. Everybody thought I was checking traffic. I was studying for my ham license.
Right. So you basically was doing just that. It was question and answers, or were you actually studying the material?
No. So like the phone apps was questions and answers. I shared the app with somebody the other day. Well, a local guy that was trying to upgrade. So I shared the apps with him and told him this is what I did. See if it works for you. May not be your style. I don't know. But it would highlight the correct answers. But when you go back to review, it I don't remember exactly. That's been a while. I got my extra in 2015, and I quit taking tests after that.
Listen, I'll tell you this, and this is honest God truth. I took that test one time prior to studying, and I think I made about a 50 or something on it. I didn't take it no more after that. So I didn't know what my numbers were when I went to take the test. I was just trusting the process.
Yeah. You know, and what something else that helped when I did my general and extra, the local club here was with I think it was Laurel V, and they had no fees for taking the test. So I could just show up, and it didn't cost me nothing but the gas to get there. So I didn't lose nothing if I didn't pass the test. So that's kind of why I just went ahead and went for it too. So
I'll lose $10 if I don't pass tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean,
you're gonna pass. That's not even a deal.
I'm not worried about it. I'm not.
I was to say, Shane, you want to see something?
Yes.
Take a look at the names on that list that are signed up for tomorrow.
That's awesome. That's
a nice list. That's a nice roster.
Ham Radio 2.
Yeah.
Life at Terminal Velocity.
Look at who.
Look at all that support. Look at all that support.
Look at that.
Caitlin. We got Frequency Frenzy. We got Big Jim.
Big Jim.
Now, I'll let you guess which ones want to be your VE.
I'm not gonna guess. I'm gonna just be surprised when I pop into that.
Don't even yet. Don't even yet. That's not even.
Wait a minute. Okay, so this kind of goes good with what I said about. I slapped another $10 on the table and said, "Give me another test. Bring more than $10 in case you have to do it again."
Wow.
Always be over prepared, man.
I take PayPal.
Yeah, there you go. Well, PayPal's connected to my credit card, so if we need to do 3 or 4 of these, we'll be good.
You won't need them because I saw the numbers you was making on the test. That's
same here. Exactly. There. That's a win.
You know what? I'm honestly excited to take it. I am.
You know what Shane's problem is? For one, he's kind of doubting himself, but you know why? Because he's so involved with stats. This man sometimes won't shut up about numbers. As soon as the show ends, he's pulling up our numbers.
Yes,
right?
That's so true.
Guess what? You know what he hasn't done tonight? Joe Brett's right. You know what he hasn't.
You how many people are watching tonight?
We are 63 minutes in this show, and you have at least done it like 3 times already.
I didn't want to piss off the smoking 8.
So what Shane's holdup is on this testing thing is that he's only at 90 or 92%. He ain't hit
93
100 yet. Okay, see, 93. Another day's went by since I talked to him. So yeah, he ain't hit that 100%. There's still some numbers missing there, and it's bugging the hell out of him. You know,
I want to punch him in the dick. I missed. He's pissing me off.
Punch me in the dick. I missed 0 on my general. I want to miss 0 on my general, or I'm sorry, on my extra. But today I was talking to Kay at MRD. I was like, you know what? As long as I'm above that orange line and I get that ticket, I don't care. I honestly don't care.
Really?
Escaped me.
I hope so, because listen. If you were my heart surgeon, I want you to be in that upper percentage class. Just remember that. Just remember.
But a curmudgeon on the air, you don't care.
We don't care. Just be a good ham radio operator, right? That's all it. Just
be a KB, man. Just
don't even. Just be a KB. Hey, that's a T-shirt. That's a T-shirt. Where's our brother James?
Just be a KB, huh? Just be a KB, bro, dude. Hey, exactly.
Yeah.
Listen, I think the issue with everybody is they start overthinking, and then one of the guys that I'm trying to help get through, he called me and he's like, "Yeah, but these formulas." No, that's not what we're doing. We want to just pass the test. We can do the formulas next week. And so that's what I'm telling you, Izzo, is listen, that's how to pass the test. All that other extra stuff that's going to happen. Matter of fact, the morning of my test, I'm going to tell you this. I still was saying, am I ready? I just didn't want to look like a nut job or something. So I was like, am I ready? So I got up a couple hours extra early and I pulled out my pad and I was going to start writing some formulas. And I was like, what are you doing? Just relax. Just relax and let it be what it is. And I guarantee you, you could be a ham before February the 29th.
Wait, but February only has 28 days, doesn't it?
Leap year.
I told Steve, I said, you know what? I really don't want to look like a jackass before my friends, because most of the people that you see on that VE list are my friends. It's like, I'm really going to look like a jackass if I don't pass that the first time around. So I'm studying extra, but I got a couple shout outs I need to make. Bill, KA8 GIM, thanks for the $10 super chat. Great advice, everyone.
Bill's advice was very good. About his what he said.
And we got Jody Vassar, the unseasoned ham, $10 Canadian. Thanks for the 50 cent US. Canadian Sawbuck says Shane passes. So I 100% agree.
Awesome. That's awesome. I'm telling you, you can do it quick, man. I know you can do it.
You can, honestly. I went through. I think it took me 2 days to power through all the questions because I was trying to do that. I'm going to study for an hour. At the end of that hour, I'm just going to take a break, take a practice test, and then stop for the day. Tomorrow, I'm going to do an hour, take a practice test, and put it away for the day. For me, that works because I can take that hour that I studied and I can get a little bit of a tidbit of how I'm progressing by how I progressed on the test. And I took a baseline because I'm in the technology industry, so data is my thing. I took a test before I looked at anything, and on that test, I got 18 out of 50 correct. Right. I studied for 4 days, and I got 42 out of 50 correct in 4 days, which would have been a passing score. And I have not dropped below a passing score since those 4 days.
Yep. I think it's easy to do. Not easy to do, but I think if you just have the know-how, you have a plan, you can do it. What I was doing, I was calling myself studying. I was taking about 20 minutes at the end of the day. I was laying in bed, open up the book, and I might get 10 minutes in, and the rest of it I was asleep. So that doesn't work for me. So, but powering through. That's what happened to me. Yeah, powering through Noah and saying, I'm going to sit here for the next couple of hours and I'm going to get through these tests and these questions. And that worked for me. And like I say, I wish I knew this in high school. I could have been a better student.
I know, right? Brian couldn't have said it better. What do you call an amateur extra that only answers 37 questions correctly?
Oh, wow. Amateur extra. Exactly.
Well, and then go with Chris is here. What do you call the med student with the lowest passable grade?
Doctor. You call him doctor. Yep.
Awesome.
Chris is one of my local
right. You're absolutely right.
Great guy.
Thank you guys for the super chat. I'm excited. I don't, this particular test, I'm not stressed out about. I will be stressed out about my hot air balloon test because the person that is administering that test knows me and will be an absolute jackass. I see it coming. So that test I'm stressed about. I'm excited about the extra test.
Hey, Shane.
Yeah.
Talking about hot air balloons.
Uh-oh.
We're going to change it up just a little bit.
Okay.
There's too much radio. We got to take a break.
Yeah, really. Man.
It is
Clubhouse.
I sent you I think I sent you a TikTok video within the last couple of weeks of these freaking skydivers with this huge trampoline jumping up and down, hanging from a balloon at like 55 gazillion feet. It looked like above the clouds. First, I was like, how can they breathe? But anyway, they was having a good old time and then jumping off. Well, you had just shared the story about the tragic, how the balloon possibly probably fell if everybody jumped at the same time. But jumping up and down, all I could think about after that story was the top of that balloon doing this. I don't know. Is that a thing?
So
you never did respond to me, or even hit the heart.
I haven't been on TikTok today.
He's still analyzing the data.
I'm studying for my extra test, so I apologize for not being on TikTok. I apologize. I will say that the one that Joe's talking about in Arizona was a freak accident. I think it was and I'm not a professional here. I'm not giving professional advice. I'm not a professional expert witness.
In his opinion,
it's my opinion. Exactly.
It does not reflect the other thoughts and views of the members of the clubhouse or those in chat.
Yeah.
So in other words, he's not the
FAA.
Right. Yeah, he's right. He's not the NTSB.
Just going off of the facts and what was presented, if you look in most of these videos that are going across TikTok and YouTube, you see a basket full of people. And then you see like 4 or 5 people that are either jumping on the trampoline or they're bailing off the top or whatever. In the instance in Arizona, you have a giant balloon capable of carrying 12, 13, 14, 15 people. You have 4 in the basket and you have 4 that are going to jump out of the basket. Well, Newton says there's a law there. And what happens is an inexperienced pilot, and I've only have about 600 hours flying airplanes, and I have about 25 hours flying balloons. But if you are in a positive, buoyant situation where you are keeping everybody aloft, you're not descending and you're not climbing, and then all of a sudden, 4 or 5 200-pound people decide to bail. Well, now you have too much lift for the weight that you're trying to maintain. So now that balloon wants to raise. And balloons have this thing where if you raise too fast, the thing at the top that keeps the hot air in will push down because of all the air that's trying to come down on it. Mm-hmm. When that happens, the pilot has no control. He can't roll his rope down that he normally would use to vent that hot air out because it's escaping on its own. And at a certain point with the people that are left, if you have too much hot air leave that balloon and you don't put any more hot air back in, now you're in an uncontrolled descent.
So you have a parachute on?
No.
Span of 2 or 3 seconds probably.
Did. The people who jumped had a parachute. The people that were sitting in the basket did not, unfortunately. And I really feel bad for the people that perished in that accident. But you see a lot of things where things are planned properly, and you see some things that are posted on social media that are not planned properly. And I think one of these, and I've spoken with several people who are way more experienced in balloons than I am, and there was a state that it just really didn't check all the boxes in order to make sure that they were going to be able to do this safely, because the balloon landed with only 4 or 5 people in the balloon, and they should have had like 8 or 9 people in there to offset the people who are going to jump out. And it was directed on the ground that only one person jump at a time, and they all jumped at the same time. So now you have all that weight exiting the basket, and now the balloon wants to shoot straight up because it now has all this extra lift. So.
And what you're describing, probably by the time you realize something bad's happening, it's too late to try to pull the cord and stuff anyway.
You say shit is all you get.
How many feet up are you normally?
Well, it just depends. I can be anywhere from 500 feet to 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 feet. And then when I flew in Colorado, we were about 12,000 feet based off the height above the ground.
And you don't have a parachute?
No.
Guys, my head
I
is
got
spinning.
a big one above me.
Guys, we're
Full of
talking
hot
physics. Guys, we're talking physics. Physics is math. Math hurts.
Physics-ish. It's the thing is like if you have a 2-ton jack and you're only lifting 500 pounds with it, you got a lot of extra lift there, right?
Right.
So the same thing with a hot air balloon. You got 2 tons worth of lift, and you're only lifting a certain amount of weight, and that weight automatically just get kicked out.
Yep.
That balloon wants to keep lifting that weight. It's not going to stop lifting that weight. It wants to keep lifting it. And there's limitations on how much vertical acceleration you can get.
Have you ever heard of the big? This is towards Shane. The big air balloon deal that's in Mississippi, the 4th of July weekend.
I have not.
I've
done the one in Albuquerque.
This show just jumped the tracks, guys.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'll sit back way over here. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah,
Joe Brett should come over and join us and do hot air balloon radio.
Joe Brett don't want to travel and see you.
We're talking an hour or so from Joe Brett. I think maybe 2 hours. Every 4th of July, man, they bring in probably 50, 60, 70 hot air balloons, and they all fly over top of me. Joe Brett, have you ever seen that?
I occasionally you'll see balloons up through here that draw a lot of attention, kind of like the Goodyear blip, because you just don't see it every day around these parts. But I think I've heard of that. I have, but I haven't been. So this is what we do, Shane. This is getting back to radio. You got to go up in a balloon a lot higher than what you've been showing us on video, and I'll go up as high as they'll take me, and we'll take some little handheld Yagi antennas. And we'll point. I'll point toward Texas. You point toward Mississippi, and we'll call 2 meter make contact. Because it's line of sight, right?
What radio do you want to use? What radio do you want to use? What radio do you guys recommend?
So I did when I did my video with hot air balloons on the air. We did HF and we did 2 meters. I got 70 miles, I think, on 2 meters. And then from Texas, we got Florida and Virginia, I think, on HF. And on that was a 705, so it was 5 watts with the K6ARK infant half wave tossed off the side of the basket. We were able to make it all to make it to either coast.
All right, guys, I'm going to segue. All right, I'm going to segue into a section here. We got some questions for KB. Now,
is it that time?
Now, I'm going to add, but I'm going to throw an extra question, and I'm going to get right to it because he gave me some. And
is this rapid fire?
This is rapid fire.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
All right. Get ready. Get ready, KB.
I'm ready.
I've added an extra question, so we're going to go right to the extra question first. Okay. Would you jump out of an airplane at 15,000 feet? Calling CQ on 20 meters. Would you do that?
With the parachute?
Yes, of course, with a parachute.
I would do it.
You would? Okay.
Actually, I have a contact. I have a contact in my log from a skydiver up north was jumping, and he was calling CQ, and I made about 10 contacts before he got down, and I was one of them.
In the Chicago area?
Yes.
Carlos.
It was Carlos. Yeah. Kilo Delta 9, Oscar Lima November.
Yeah.
Well, now I feel like stupid. I don't want to ask the other 4 questions. Now K901.
Did that operator sound a little Puerto Rican? Like he was jacked up on coffee?
Like he was jacked up on coffee.
What was his call?
Kilo Delta 9, Oscar Lima November.
Well, how long ago was this contact?
I was about to say.
I'm trying to see right now.
He's updated.
Back in this summertime?
Because he upgraded to extra also.
Yeah, but that was. I bet you KB has it before. Summertime, June, July, August.
August the 4th at 4 p.m.
Carlos, where you at? There you go.
He was on 14.286.
Yep.
Look out.
Yep. That's awesome.
I got Carlos on 2 meters from Dayton. He was jumping at Hamcation, and we had an arrow antenna pointed at him. We were passing the radio, making 2 meter contacts with Carlos while he was making that jump.
As fast as you can. As he All right.
I have 2-meter contacts from under the parachute.
That's right, because you did jump out
I
and
jumped
called
CQ.
with
Carlos, as a matter of fact.
Oh wow,
So
that's cool.
Down in Huntsville.
Well,
I have a
cool story on the radio. We was talking about the balloon and was talking about HF and all. Well, being prior military, I often would sit third seat in the C-130 aircraft, just locally flying or whatever. And sometimes I would make some HF calls out on the radio. This particular time, we was in Saudi Arabia. And we was working, doing some work on the engine. I was an engine turner, so I'm sitting in the cockpit for an hour or so, and I'm just sitting out there. I was like, let me get on the HF. I flipped it to.
Let me just turn that VFO a little bit.
Yeah. I flipped it on, and this was before I was a ham operator, so I flipped it on 11 meters. And I made an 11-meter call from Saudi Arabia to Tyler, Texas.
Whoa. All right, that's awesome.
That's DX.
Awesome.
That's DX right there.
That's
awesome.
Serious DX.
Yep.
Yeah.
How much power were you putting out on that thing?
I think the radio only put out like 150 watts or so.
Yeah.
And I was actually sitting on the deck in Saudi Arabia. And I went up on 27025. And, man, I talked to one of the guys that I actually, had talked to before. I didn't know him. Man, he was like, man, sounding great, yada, yada. He was like, where are you at? I was like, well, I don't think I can tell.
I'm in the hood. I'm in the hood right now.
I'm a long ways away in a very dry place.
That was my TV story, man. It was awesome.
Oh, that's great.
So I grew up around CB. That's kind of how I never got CB bug, but my dad, my uncles, great uncles, everything, they was always talking with CB growing up. The only thing I did was stay up late after my dad went to bed and start talking crap to folks. And then one night, like I was in the kitchen with a knife waiting at the door because I thought dude was really finna come up there to me. He was getting stronger on that meter, I didn't know back then as a youth that if you shut up, they can't find you. But as long as you keep talking, they can see which way that meter's swinging, stronger or weaker. And
if you unplug the coax and that meter's still pegged, it's gonna be rainy. It's gonna be a rainy night in Georgia.
But I was out working one day and sitting there just riding around, and I had 11 meter and ham and everything in my car, and I started hearing something. I always kept it on 19 because we got interstate and stuff comes through, and sometimes I just talk to truckers from one side of the county to the other, just ride along beside them, and then I really enjoyed those truckers that was talking crap when they come in, trying to make people mad. And then I would ride up next to the 18-wheelers and wait for the guy talking crap to start talking and find out the driver that's talking on his mic right there. And then I would sit there and say, hey, I'm pretty strong on that meter, ain't you? You want to pull over up here next exit? and he would get to start talking crap to me. And then finally he'd be like, well, where are you at? You must be, same direction stuff. I said, look in your mirror, buddy. I've been sitting here the whole time. And
look at them red and blues.
Yeah, he see them stickers on the car, and then they go quiet. Every time they shut up. I'm like, oh, we was having fun, man. But anyway, what I was going to say was something cool that like I never thought about. And I was like, oh my God, this is happening on 11 meters. That's pretty neat. I was like trying to record, and I got a video of it somewhere, but aeronautical on 11 meters. There was a guy in a jetliner, and he tuned that HF down to 27, whatever, 185, the 19 zone. And these truck drivers were losing their minds. They didn't know what the crap was going on. Some of them you could tell knew, and they was like talking to him, but the other one was like, meet me at the truck stop, man. You talking all that stuff.
You better shut up, son.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, that's awesome.
I just thought that's neat. I heard it on HF plenty of times, 2 meters and HF and everything else. But when I heard it on 11 meters, I'm like, hey. And the entertaining part was listening to them guys trying to figure out what the heck aeronautical was. But it was pretty neat.
That's a truck in the sky. That's what that is. That's exactly what that is.
For a bus.
So I have an interesting question, and I've watched a few of your live streams, but do you get the same problems that Callum or any of those guys get with the people who try to key up on you or step on time? Do you have the sad hands that try to mess with you while you're trying to have fun on YouTube?
Wow, listen, I've had quite a few. Well, I won't say quite a few. I can actually count out about maybe 5 or 10 times. But initially, I want to say back in like June or something, and you can probably go catch the video. Well, it is what it is. You guys said this is just a talk show, so that's what it is. Yeah. This one guy on there for about 20 minutes wanted me to know that I wasn't allowed to be on that frequencies because we don't let no N-words on this frequency.
Whoa.
And he said it about 20 or 30 times, and I could hear him. But what I did was I just played like I didn't hear him. Sure, and I just continue on with it. Matter of fact, the first time I seen you guys, and I don't remember the gentleman's call sign, he did a video right before you guys show. He was standing out at some SUV, and he did a video about the racism that I had faced, and he actually played portion of the video. Wow. That's the first time I seen y'all show.
I remember something about that.
Yep, that was me. Yeah. He called and asked could he use the video and said he was going to do it. And it came on right before you guys started. And so that's the first time I ever seen your show.
Let me tell you something. We touched base a little bit earlier when we was doing Toads about how this is family, I think. That's what we was trying to get at.
Yeah.
PM us some information. Shane will mail him some stuff.
I will mail them some male phallic material.
Oh man!
And I have friends with big baseball bats.
Yeah, the other day, I had to stop doing something I would normally do. When I set up, I would find an empty frequency, and I would call, see if the frequency is clear. Well, when I do that, once I find that it's clear, I set up everything to be on that frequency, and then I go and set up my page to say what frequency I'm going to be on. Well, some guy, for like the last 3 weeks, when he hear me when he see me post the frequency, he goes to the frequency and starts calling CQ. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Well, I've already made up the page, so I can't go and change it. So then I just have to find another frequency. And the last week, this was the last one, a gentleman, I've been hearing him for about a month. He's always in the background saying, you can't sell amateur radio. It's against the ARRL rules. And so finally, he talked to me like a week ago, and he says to me, well, how much is your subscriptions? I said, subscriptions to what? And he says, to YouTube. I said, well, YouTube subscriptions are free. And he says, so you don't have to pay nothing? I said, nope, it's all free. And he's like, oh, I didn't know that. Well, my apologies. He just left.
Yeah, so I've been giving you shit for a freaking month on something that I was dumb about. Because I'm an idiot, but I've been giving you shit. Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, so, yeah, I think we all face them.
Mike K. Emery had the same thing. He had somebody who just decided that he just wanted to sandbag his live streams. And I think it is absolutely total shit. Like, people who go on like Alex and the folks who do these live contacts on the air. I've made contact with Callum over in the UK on almost every band. I'm missing 40, and I'll get there eventually. But I know. Thank you, Steve. Steve has a powerful station that I get to remote into at the beam that points that way. There's a 4-element step IR. So my 100 watt signal is about 1,000 watts by the time you get it out of the antenna. I digress. But it just blows me away that you see somebody promoting the hobby and promoting what we're doing here, and they just want to come over and just take an absolute piss on everything that you're doing. It's like, you're the reason no one wants to get into this hobby. We like to come in here and have fun and hang out and do cool stuff and do contests and stuff like that. But that gets you all tied up in a pinch for no reason. Just spin the dial. Like I've been out. I do a lot of the Parks on the Air stuff, and I'll go out there and I've got a video where someone was playing audio over me while I'm trying to activate, and I'm just sitting here and I don't acknowledge it while I'm on the air. I just power through it because they will go away if you don't say their name.
Yep.
If you don't mention them, just forget about them. But it just blows my mind that someone is that damn bored that they're going to sit there and point an antenna at you and play Windows 3.1 sounds at you. First off, upgrade your damn Windows. Play something from Windows 10 or Windows 11.
I like the nostalgia, man. I enjoy it.
Nobody wants to hear that.
He has that pipe. He has that screensaver with the pipes, doesn't he? And the brick.
Exactly.
I like
At least you're not playing.
I like it.
You know, like for the internet.
Yeah, I like all that, man. It takes me back, man. You know.
Yeah,
sometimes I just want to go.
Dial-up
man.
internet. He's got that dial-up internet.
My problem is first of all, I'm not a little guy, you know. I'm 6'2", 6'3", 260 pounds, and so I'm not a little guy. And so my issue is, and I did it one show, and I wish I hadn't have. They had finally got to me. And I just let them know, man. I give out my address. I don't have a problem giving out my address.
Good on QRZ.
I give out my address, and I told them I'm good for the drive. I'll drive 100 miles to meet you. It don't matter to me. And so, you know, I got a little hood in me. So that's what makes me mad is I can't get to them so that I can try to figure out to help them because obviously they just need some help.
Oh, you meet them in person, they're going to shake your hand. How you, man?
Oh, man. Yeah, exactly, man. I'm telling you, boy. Yeah.
I cannot wait to meet Lima Whiskey Charlie.
You just couldn't help yourself.
You couldn't help it.
But I honestly, it's like I know most of the people that we talk to are retired, but if you're retired and all you have to do is to point an antenna at somebody that is out playing radio and play Windows 3.1 sounds on, you need to go talk to your doctor because there's something messed up in your head.
They just need some wall-to-wall counseling. It's okay.
I saw them do some wall-to-wall
counseling.
Absolutely right. That's what they need.
Louisville Slugger to take care of that.
What they probably need is a bowel movement because they probably hadn't had one in 6
months.
I
said that too. Metamucil in the morning will make you happy.
Right?
You know, I just don't understand. I'm with Shane though. I don't know what would it take in your life to make you sit up and don't have anything else to do but let me just bug this operator here. I just don't understand what could be going on in your life.
They're a bully. They're a bully. That's all.
They're not a bully, Izzo. That's the thing. They probably got beat up on the damn playground.
That's
and
what
like,
I'm thinking.
What? They're what? I got 1,500 watts. I could throw at this guy, and he won't know it's me. So because I got beat up in school, I'm going to sit here and do this. And I'm sorry if that makes me sound childish.
No. Listen, in my opinion, they're still a bully, but there are many ways. There are many ways of how do you handle a bully.
Send them a bag of dicks.
Well, that's one way.
You just put it on the air, Shane. Really?
You know, I think
I'm not ashamed of it.
I think these folks that you mentioned, and these type folks that just ain't got nothing else to do. You know, they ran out of stuff in the hobby that, you know, something interested them, and they got into it in the first place, and they had fun at some point, and that changed somewhere along life. I think what they're missing is they need to go to a park and be the DX. They need to experience POTA.
Exactly. Be the one that everyone's trying to get a hold of. Right.
And then they'll experience the ones trying to whistle and make noises and stuff over them, and they'll understand.
Didn't understand, Wow.
I've met so many people that just talks about how POTA just brought that interest back after all the years they've been licensed, and it's great.
Damn.
Maybe that's what they need, man.
Wow, am I the only one that don't do POTA?
Yeah, because you don't like anything that's less than 100 watts.
But guess what? Right. You in Texas, and we just introduced you to some Texas folks. You're going to do some POTA before long.
If you're bored, you want to see what POTA's about, I'll go set everything up. You just come drive by, bring coffee and hot dogs. We'll be good to go.
Shane, talking about that, segue. KB, how far are you from Galveston Island?
Oh, man, 4 hours and 50 minutes.
KAMRD, Mike says that is nothing in Texas. That's a short drive.
Oh, that's nothing.
So what does he need to do this weekend, Shane? Do you recall?
Yeah, he should probably come down to Galveston Island because it is the Winter Field Day, and there's a big group of us that are going to be on at Galveston Island State Park activating the park.
And wow.
I would probably say, I would like to see if Jason is in the room. If KB comes down, can we have your 500 watt amplifier to run at the park so that he doesn't feel like he's running QRP?
I'm with you. I am with you, man. I'm telling you.
Oh, shit. So,
Oh my
Shane?
God, man, Lee, yeah. I can. It's not a problem. I can bring my own, and
There you go. That's even better.
I got a generator, and I can bring my own.
You'd be like, "What's that truck coming down the road in a trailer?"
Well, what I'm looking at here, KB, it looks like you were due south of Grapevine.
Oh yeah, he's
am
not
due
far.
south.
He's not far from Jason.
But he's
He's
not far from you
Jason.
either.
I know. We talked about it earlier. He's 45 minutes from me, but I'm taking Southwest Airlines to Galveston or to Houston, and then I'm driving to Galveston. I'm not driving the entire time. It's different for me. I fly for free, so
Yeah, well.
Hey, real quick, I see a friend of mine on the chat, KD8LHR. He says, nice looking cup in the back. I'm going to put them up there for you. This club, man, the radio club is the Amigos, and it's backwards, I'm sure. Let me see. There they are.
It's there.
Man, yeah.
And
they had me to do their one of their meetings, the joke deal, and I did it live for them. And, man, they sent me cups.
That's cool.
Oh,
that's cool. Shirts, man.
Man, yeah.
There you go. Look at that.
Hey, Roger, thanks, man. I really appreciate it.
That's
That is
fantastic.
awesome. Yeah.
What a community, man. What a community.
Yes.
But KB, if you want to come down and try POTA, that's where we're all going to be this weekend. I'm going to fly in on Saturday morning, and I got to fly back on Saturday afternoon. But we're going to be down in Galveston. Normally, this would be done about an hour and a half north of you at Jason's hunting lease. But this year, it's going to be done down at Galveston. So we do winter field day and regular field day at either Jason's hunting lease, or we do it at Galveston. So,
When you're saying Jason, who are we talking about exactly?
Ham Radio 2.0.
Okay,
You may not have seen his channel. I mean,
He's got
it's
a
not
tiny
very big,
YouTube
but
channel.
Yeah, very small.
Yeah, I know Ham Radio 2.0. Okay, I'm there. Man, that would be outstanding. But, man, I wish I would have known that. I actually have an event this weekend.
bring the event with you.
I'm trying to. Oh man,
Just make contact with us. We need the contacts.
Joe, I'm telling you, if I was to do that, man, you got. Oh my, I'm a ham operator, but I'm a motorcycle guy. I'm an avid motorcycle guy.
There's plenty of space for radio Nintendo and motorcycle.
Look at Steve. Hey guys. Look at Steve. Steve just lit up. Look at him.
Oh, yeah.
He's lit up. Look at him. It's like he's looking at a naked lady right now.
Oh man, I'm with Steve. I'm like, wow, yeah. And man, we have a big event this weekend in Dallas. It's probably going to be about it'll probably be about 2,000-3,000 bikers here in Dallas this weekend.
It's a big parking lot at Galveston, man. I'm just saying.
Oh man, and Galveston for the bikers is November 1st weekend every year in Galveston is the big bike deal, and it's literally over 1 million bikes in Galveston at that time. And but I have this bike thing this weekend, and man, I tell you what happened when I started riding motorcycles. I literally walked away from amateur radio for 10 years. And
do it to you.
You lose your license, I think, after 8.
10.
Then 2 years.
10 now.
Oh, it's 10 now. And then they give you a 2-year grace period before your call is thrown back in the bucket. Mm-hmm. I was out so long, my call was thrown in the bucket. And I have a vanity call. And so when I did, COVID brought me back. Couldn't ride the bike nowhere. So I was like, what was I doing before this motorcycle? And I was like, amateur radio. So, man, my station was in the garage. I have a decent home of size, rather. And my wife banished me to a corner of the garage. And when it's 30 degrees outside, it's 22 inside the garage.
Yep.
And so all my kids grown and gone. And so I was like, man, I'm going to bring all that equipment upstairs and make me a ham room upstairs and start amateur radio again. And then once I figured out, literally it took me a month to get everything hooked up. Then it took me about another 2 weeks to figure out how to turn stuff on and get everything in sync. And then I was like, I'm ready. And I grabbed the microphone and I started pulling up QRZ. All of my codes was gone. All my password was gone. Then I realized that my call sign had died. So I couldn't even come. I couldn't have QSOs. And then I found the guy. He's in Oklahoma, a brand new ham, had just picked up that call sign. And so I had to get on the phone with him and say, hey, man, do you mind? And I sent him my license plates on my truck. You know, they have K5, KB on my truck. And he was so grateful that he put the call sign back in the pot. And I was able to get it.
That's awesome.
Yep, I was able to get it in June and start making calls. But, so he did. And I sent him some antenna. He was a new ham. So I sent him some dipoles and some T-shirts and all that because he could have said, screw, you know.
Mm-hmm. He could have said, go fly a kite.
You can say it. We're over an hour in. You can say it.
Yeah, you're right.
As I said today, you're shit out of luck.
Well, SOL.
Or sent me a bag of dicks.
You broke Shane.
There you go.
I mean, I wouldn't do that over a call sign, but I'm just saying. I was surprised.
Yes, you would.
When I applied for my granddad's call sign, I totally thought it had been given out to somebody else at some point. And the fact that thing had been sitting dormant since 1968, it was...
Wow.
KB, what do I got to do to talk you into coming to DC with me Memorial Day weekend on the bike?
To where?
DC, Rolling to Remember. Formerly Rolling Thunder.
Rolling Thunder. What month is that?
That is Memorial Day weekend. It's the last weekend in May.
That might not be a big push.
You piqued his interest. Steve, you piqued his interest. Look at this.
I'll sweeten the pot. How do you feel about a passenger?
What do you mean a passenger?
Somebody on the back of the bike.
That's normally what passenger means.
A Blue Star mother has a child actively serving.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow.
I can take care of that.
It's a whole honor thing. Yeah, it's an honor, man.
Oh, wow. I'm writing this down. You said it's Memorial Day weekend?
Memorial Day weekend.
He's like, I got an amplifier I need to go pick up, and I got a bike I got to take.
That sounds like a trip, doesn't it, man? That sounds like a trip.
And you can trailer it, and I won't bust on you. Man,
I've never trailered my bike. Well, I have once. We my club, we do some big rides. Matter of fact, July this year, we're going to go from Texas to Syracuse.
Wow.
Yeah, we do some big rides. We normally do Las Vegas once a year. Then we do Arizona the next year. But now I have another chapter in Syracuse. So we're going to do Syracuse this year. Okay. We make some nice rides.
Take your radio because we're going to be at Yellowstone National Park doing a bunch of parks on the air in July. So...
But I don't do like the radio on my bike or whatever. But what I have done,
put it in your saddlebag. You good?
Yeah, what I have
set
done.
It up once you get there.
Right, buy a little battery.
I have headsets on, and so I've got on Echolink and talked a lot on my bike riding, dude. Yeah, I've talked on Echolink a lot.
That's awesome. Just get one of those Zygu G90s and a simple antenna, and once you get to where you're going. You're set it up.
Him to get on 20 watts when he's using 200 watts.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
IUG90.
Don't make him crawl. Don't make him
500 watt amplifier with you.
That's what they make a sidecar for.
You need a trailer for it.
I'm gonna have to take this one with me, man. So I'll be ready to
go. See? There you go. See? Boy. If there's a will, there's a way.
Exactly.
Absolutely right.
QRP, anything over under 100 watts.
Man, I might take that one with me. That'll give me about 500 right there, and that might give me clear right there.
Wait a minute, is that 12 volts?
It is 12 volts.
All right, so Mike, so K8 MRD has a 300 amp hour 12 volt battery. We could totally run that amplifier off of.
Oh man! Now we're talking.
Parks on the air, right?
All
there.
right, now I really got interested. I really got interested now.
See?
All of my antennas, the max that we'll do is 200. So I got to find another antenna that will take the 600 watts, but we're good to go.
Oh man, I wish I would have known about this stuff. I used to be in prior military. Again, I had a crank up, hydraulically lifted pole that had a 3-element Yagi it was military. Take me 5 minutes to put a 3-element Yagi up, and it could go up about 50 feet on the hydraulic. And man, I gave it away to a guy who didn't have an
that hurts. That hurts.
We have one sitting in New York. We've got to go pick up. It's a crank up hydraulic mast tower that's 100 feet.
On a trailer.
I think on a trailer that's ready to go. So I got to make a road trip up there to pick that thing up and bring it back to Texas because that's going to go to the hunting lease where we do our field days. That 100-foot tower is going to go out there and we're going to put a 6-element or something on it. So
that's awesome.
Just fly up to New York, rent a truck, and tow that bad boy home.
I know. I need Izzo to go pick it up in New York and meet me halfway. We'll just swap trailers.
Yeah.
Now, see, I just got a whole nother trip planned now. Memorial Day, take Izzo a bottle, pick up the equipment from Steve, and go up and pick up a towel. Listen.
See, you didn't know we were going to fill up your calendar when you agreed to be on the show.
Oh, man. When you're a guest on the Clubhouse, man, we're going to reel you in. We're going to reel you in here.
I'm like, wow, man.
Okay. Your 2024 calendar's filled.
Yep.
Wait. We've done a disservice. We're an hour and 45 minutes in.
And is there any question on what we're fixing to do?
No.
But I'm ready here, Steve. No. I'm ready. Steve,
but
I'm ready.
Before you do that, Izzo, okay, I'm going to make a motion.
What's your motion?
That we bring
That's
KB
the one that I said
into the Clubhouse. Yep.
As a member of the Clubhouse, as an honorary member.
Wow!
I will second that motion, Steve. That we accept K5 KAB onto the rolls of the Ham Radio Clubhouse.
Here.
Wow.
All in favor?
Here.
Hey, there we go. Congratulations, buddy.
Killing me, man.
So, KB, what that means is we'll start sending you monthly invoices for your dues. Thank you for your interest.
Accept Venmo and PayPal.
Oh man, you guys are killing me.
All right, wait. We're not done yet. Before you say that, wait. You better take a sip. All right. We got what's called rapid fire questions. This is for all of our brothers who have come in. We've had I think we have 1 or 2 ladies who have been. So this is the elite
one for
group.
Sure.
Yeah, 1 for sure.
2.
Who's 2? Okay. Yep. Sorry.
Yes, this is Izzo's initiation. Yeah,
so this is so guess what? Now that you're in, this is the last thing that we make you do. Okay, you got to ask, and you got to answer these questions honestly. That's all we ask, okay? Are you ready? All right.
He's like, what I get myself into.
All right.
Yeah, Joe didn't tell me about all this.
There's a reason we do it at the end of the show.
There's a reason why we do it. Right. All right. Hey, I'm gonna let him drink. All right. Chicken, steak, or fish?
Steak.
And how do you like your steak?
Medium well.
Medium well, okay.
That's a fail. Sorry.
That's a fail. That's a fail.
Anything over medium, if it's not still halfway moving.
Wait a minute. Medium well on like a 20-ounce real thick cut could still be right. You know?
That's true. Yeah. That's true.
See, that's okay. I'm not a Neanderthal, and I figured out how to use a stove and fire. So I was put some fire in the
throw on fire, drag it across the grill, flip it over, drag it back. It's done.
Hey, just like studying in radio, baby, you just enjoy it the way ever you enjoy it.
Okay. You do you. Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite ice cream flavor?
Golly, really, dude.
All right. And if it's hard, if it's hard, I'll give you 2 flavors.
Rapid. Come on now.
Vanilla.
Okay. Anything on top of it? Is it just plain vanilla, or do you throw stuff on top of it?
Is it home style Bluebell vanilla?
Bluebell home style.
Hey!
Wow.
Yes.
All right.
Been there.
Favorite snack?
I'm a potato chip eater. Plain.
Oh no! Wait a minute. Time out. Time out.
He said plain.
Now listen. You want to be my friend? Do you like barbecue or you don't like barbecue potatoes?
I do like barbecue.
But you're still my friend. Yeah, but
Izzo hates
The kettle fried barbecue, the thicker chips, man, I love that.
All right. Listen to each his own. Some guys like CW, some guys like sideband. But guess what?
Like
We're all
some people like AM.
Right. We're all some people like QRP, some people like QRO.
Exactly.
Some people said, I wish we could do 2,000 instead of 1,500.
1,499. 1,499.
PEP.
All right. Your last question. Are you ready?
I am.
And I want you to think about this. What's your favorite band?
My favorite what?
Band. B-A-N-D. What is your favorite band?
The OJs, of course.
There you go. I knew I liked this guy. That's because we were born from the same era. That's 101 reasons why I like this guy.
Look, those guys look sane, don't even know who that is. He's like, who is that?
How old do you think I am?
He doesn't know what a KB. He doesn't know what he knows what a 45 is only because he probably saw it somewhere, but he probably didn't have
45 right over there.
Have you ever played 45?
What are you talking about? Yes.
No, I had
deck over here.
But I had the original 45s when you had to go to the store to buy a 45.
I still have to go to the store to buy a 45.
Listen, this was the day when these guys, when the record industry, you know, they had to pay the DJs to play the music. And I mean, I'm talking about OG time of 45s.
I go back to a 74 Chevy with the 8-track disc.
Man, I thought he was going to say El Camino.
Fingers crossed.
Did you wear bell bottoms too? Or whatever you call them, Izzo? What was that?
Bell bottoms. They were bell bottom shoes.
Yeah. And look, and then I had the curls, dude. They look wet, but they wasn't.
They wasn't. That's right.
Ready, man. You guys, I don't know what you guys was doing. Me and Izzo, I take that back from Joe Brett. I think what's your daddy look like, Izzo?
Oh my God, that's great. Brothers from another mother. That's all right, man. That's not.
Let me turn these around. I can't get them turned around here.
Look at this. We made him laugh so hard his headphones fell off. Popped off. All right. No, you did good. You answered all these questions. See but seriously, what is your favorite ham radio band? What do you like?
I'm a 20
I know you're a 20 meter, but do you ever float off of
guy? 20 meter HF.
Do you ever go to any other bands?
I do. I scour the entire. I go through everything. I even sit up on 160 sometimes and late at night.
Oh, the top band, huh?
Yeah, and matter of fact, last night, my log. Last night I made about 15 6-meter contacts.
There you go.
Yep. Matter of fact, 12. I made 12 6-meter contacts last night. But my preference is 20 meters, man. I'm a 20-meter guy. All my equipment just works great there. We do get some DX coming in there quite often on 20 meters.
Sure. Especially now.
That's my thing. And I'm a microphone guy. You know, I'm not a CW beat the can or none of that. I'm microphone, you know. So
but you don't have an army. Wait, you don't have an army keyer in the desk and the drawers. Come on. There's every Navy guy unless you're going to be my exception. Even if you don't use it, you use it as a paperweight. Come on.
It's a paperweight.
It's not Denton and dying there.
All right, I lost the bet. I would have thought you would have had the old style Army. I'm sorry, Navy.
The straight
keyer.
He's an AM guy, man.
No.
AM guys don't do CW.
I know,
but listen to that buttery smooth.
But when that memorabilia comes around,
amplified signal coming across the air.
And you hit it on the head, Shane. That's my first love, man. Is 3890 or 3880, 3885, and sometimes 7290, man. I light up. My big one is gone. It was sitting right here. Of course, I have the Viking Valiant back there, but up the first part of last year, I had the big RCA 7,000 pounder downstairs, 1,500 watt AM. As far as it could get, it's a garage. I couldn't even bring it up the stairs. Yeah, it was awesome, man. But I could not get it. It was on 160. And I could not get it tuned down to 75, 80 meters. And by the time the guy responded to me saying, hey, I could come help you, because COVID was really bad. And so we wasn't having nobody over. And so that would knock me out. So I ended up selling it. And so now I just have what I have. And that's I have 3 Johnson Viking Valiants and 2 Viking 2s. And they play pretty good with a pair of 500 Zs or this 3CX 1500 sitting over there. They do pretty good. QRP, QRP.
Yeah,
Keep it the shack
2,000 watts or less.
Yeah, keeping the shack warm. That's how you keep the shack warm.
How many 220 lines did you have to run upstairs in order to run your AM stuff?
And that's exactly what I did. I brought in 2 220 lines. I brought in 2 220 lines, and I actually have them on a 60 amp breaker,
right?
Both of them.
And what he's not showing you is the mini split unit that's right above the desk, just to keep the shack cool.
Right.
No, you know what? I wish I could pick up the camera to show you, but I thought I was pretty ingenious. Can you see?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I built that, and all it is I cut out an electronic box. It's a poly box. Laid it over top of those 500 Zs, and I put a fan in it to exhaust out.
To pull the air out.
And I cut a hole in the back of my room here, just like a dryer, and it has a big dryer. Mm-hmm. And man, that thing blows out, and I got both of them to blow all that heat out of here, man. Because man, I get it pretty toasty in here.
I was about to say, but that warms the shack up quick.
There's no snow outside that window. Right?
Oh no. I want to get some type of solid state so bad. The only one I have is that one, and I just use that for mobile. And I'm probably gonna pick up me a Mercury for the summer.
I love Mercury amplifiers.
Yeah.
Fantastic work. Whether you build them or you have them built, that amplifier is just top notch.
Yep. I'm going to pick up one before the summer.
I know there's one in Grapevine that has been sitting on the shelf for like 8 months and someone hasn't built yet, but
right
really?
next to the DX Commander?
Yeah. It's sitting next to his DX Commander that he hasn't built either. His name is Jason. He has this little YouTube channel called Ham Radio 2.0.
Wow.
Hey,
he lives in Grapevine?
He does.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I don't know. That's kind of interesting because I don't know, but maybe 3 or 4 ham operators in the DFW area.
There's
Frank,
a few.
You overshooting them, man. You got to draw that power back a little bit.
Yeah.
Exactly, man. That's just hot. Hey,
well,
serious
blowing
question.
the front end out. Yeah.
Serious question for you. I'm not an amplifier guy. Maybe someday I will be. Okay. My grandfather was huge, and then he started, kicking it down. I just remember the old amplifiers. It sounds like you do too. But if any of the newer guys are coming in, let's say they got a couple years under their belt, they're experimenting. Hey, I want to do the amplifier. What do you recommend for a guy who doesn't know a whole heck of a lot? Just some general things about amplifiers. What do you recommend for like a first-time buyer?
I would say hands down, man, somebody just getting into the hobby. And but just like you said, I think as an amateur guy just really starting, 100 watts is fine. 100 watts in a wire or something to get them going. But I think after some years go through and you start chasing DX and want to talk to some of those distance stations, and you have to have an amplifier. I say a Meritron. It's hard to beat an Ameritron 811 or something like that because it's nothing in the box. It's a box and it's like 9 components in there, and especially if you can get your hand on the 1200.
That's what JB heats his ham shack with.
Yeah.
Oh man, you're awesome.
That's the exciter. That's the exciter.
1200. I have the 811H is what I got sitting back there. So.
Oh man, see, that's perfect. What tube's in that H? That's the
I bought it at the Ham Fest at Huntsville a couple years ago, and I've never looked in it. it worked when I turned it on, and it put out power when I keyed down, and that was good enough.
Wow, yeah,
You're supposed to take that down south and have that fixed.
Yeah, I'm probably going to take it to MFJ one day and just have them do the LED mod and new tubes and everything, make it new again, because I do feel like it's a little weak, and 10 meters, the input on 10 meters needs to be adjusted because it's not matching the 50 ohms. So I can't really use it on 10, but
I'm looking at the chat on the side. Sam Weaver, Kilo Mike 4 Echo Echoes. He says Kilo 5 Watts and Bourbons is all about the people's radio, and I just want to talk about the people's radio, man. On my show, I always say that 8 out of 10 ham operators own a 7300, man.
9 out of 10, man.
9 out of 10.
And I have 2 of them. I got 2.
Right now, they bought it first.
Right.
Listen, so that's what he's talking about. I say, man, all the time. 8 out of 10 ham operators all own a 7300, man. And
mine's
also,
right there.
And also, 9 out of 10 ham operators all own hex beams. I call it the people's radio.
The people's radio. I like that. I love hex beams too. We have a portable hex beam that we set up out at field.
I have purposely sit there and listen to somebody running a pileup when they ask, well, what are you working with? Because some guys that are just making contacts, well, what you working with? And I'll sit there sometimes purposely just see how many folks back to back say I'm running 7300 out to because I mean it's a common thing you hear.
Man, because ICOM outdid themselves with the 7300 as far as I'm concerned. And I did a show, I'll probably redo it. I did a show, CQ, ICOM 7300s. And I bet you I had 40 or 50 contacts in a matter of 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I was just sitting there laughing. Matter of fact, I should call ICOM and see if they could do something with that. Maybe we could. But, man, that ICOM, that 7300 is incredible, man. And you can I can hear it when somebody's talking to me back and forth. And I'm saying to myself, man, they sound nice. Right off the bat, I said, man, are you on a 7300? Yep. And what's so remarkable about it, and this is what I think makes the difference. I don't know how great the receive is. I'm not that guy. I don't know that. But I know
there's a guy in the chat that hates that OVF light.
Oh, man, I do get that a lot. But that handheld microphone that Howell put together for ICOM, that microphone rivals any of this audio external gear that I have. I did a test one time with a gentleman out in Montana. I was talking on this microphone. We're talking a $400 microphone here. And then I switched out and started talking on the little handheld. And I mixed them up so he wouldn't know which one was which. And I said, which one sounds better? And do you know that, Jack? I almost said it. Do you know he picked that handheld microphone?
Oh, yeah.
I believe it.
KB.
Jason, why you got to bring that up? Okay. Jason says the great thing about the 7300s is they passed the drop test. So I will say I was out experimenting as a ham radio operator, and I took my radio in the field, and my coax was a little bit short, and my mast fell over, and it yanked my 7300 off my table, and it landed on the concrete.
Oh,
and I died a little bit. I did until I walked over there and I said, you know what? It's a 7300. I put it back on the table, put the power to it, and started making contacts. It didn't matter. Took a licking and keep on ticking.
Right there, Shane. If we could capture that, so I don't know, somebody capture that right there.
Flip it.
Right there is the same attitude you got to have going at that test.
Right.
So what? I saw that. You said whatever. It's a 7300. That same attitude, bro. I like that. I like that.
KB.
And you know what? I've been POTA ever since. And everyone's like, is that the radio that you dropped? Yeah, absolutely it is. And I get 5.9. Man, your audio sounds great.
KB, yeah, it
got punted off of the table, but it still sounds great.
Yeah. And now it's got rails on it.
And now it did. One of them broke. I got to do another one.
Oh, wow.
I got to order the metal ones.
I'm going to tell you a quick story, KB.
But thank you,
Steve. I bought 2 7300s. I got one that sits in the shack, and it's all Heil equipment in there.
Mm-hmm.
I bought the second one, and when I was buying the Heil equipment, I called Heil. I said, what do you guys recommend for the 7300? They gave me some ideas, and they said, after you make your purchase, call us back. If that's not customer service, I don't know what is. I get customer service. I get this lady. And she says to me, all right, this is what you want. This is our recommendations. He says, and then later go over to one of like the SDR, the Utah SDR, listen to yourself, but you're probably not going to have to make too many adjustments, but follow our instructions first. For the first one, is built for all POTA. I built it out in a Go box. That's using the stock mic she gave me. She says, write this down. Now, for your on the other piece of the paper, she says, this is for your ham shack using the Heil equipment that I bought. And it is amazing how the Heil people and their customer service took the time, the 10 minutes to walk me through the menus in the ICOM. And now I don't touch them. And you are absolutely right. It is the most beautiful audio. That the compliments, and I don't have that natural voice in here.
He doesn't have a voice for radio.
I don't have a voice for radio. I always wanted listen. If you go back a couple of Clubhouse sessions, I talk about how I wanted to be a radio DJ. I stuttered, but I didn't have the voice. Whatever, it doesn't make a difference. The point is ICOM makes an incredible, in my opinion, some incredible menus based upon if you're going to use the stock mic or this or any other, and they take the time. To me, customer service is all about it for me, and I was so grateful to them. And it's just so nice when you make a contact and the guy says, "Man, what radio are you using?" And I'll just say, "ICOM 7300 with the stock mic if I'm out in the field." And they're like, "Oh my God, it sounds so natural." So, just a hint of compression. And I think a lot of guys blow it when they put too much compression. And it's such a shame because you spend all this money on a radio. Sometimes you buy a little bit more money to accessorize it with another microphone. And you don't let the radio, you got to pair it together. Yeah, I'm a firm believer. You got to pair it together.
What's the other microphone you use?
I use a Heil. I use the Heils, and I forgot the model number. Oh, it's embarrassing. I'm sorry, but I either run the Pro headset. I know I run the Pro headset, or I have the not the Shore. I have the regular Heil on the, and then I got the pedals. I got the push. For whatever I want to do. No, mine's a little different, Steve.
Those are good ones too.
Yeah, those are good ones.
They don't sound as good as a stock mic, but they sound really good.
But again, the point I'm making is you call if you want to go into the Heil world, you call them up and they'll pair your radio. I don't care whether you're running Yaesu, okay, but at least they'll take the time with you and help you. And a lot of people, they don't do that. You know what I mean? So
good customer service is always the best. You're probably talking about, is it the PR40?
Yes, that's it. I'm sorry. PR40.
Yeah. How, man? That guy is a microphone god, man.
Right.
He's the microphone god.
Well, you got to remember, if you follow him, if you go look into his history, and I'm talking about back in the 60s. This was the guy who worked the board. He worked the audio boards for the music industry.
For Woodstock
built. Exactly. Yeah. And then his love just carried through the very dedication into that. And who would think audio? But a lot, because it's a shame. I hear a lot of guys who are overdriving their radios
and their amplifiers.
Probably the amplifiers too.
And isn't Bob in the the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Yep, he is.
Is he in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Really?
Yes.
What a stud, dude! What a stud. Well, I'm an audio guy, man. I don't know much about it. I do a lot of reading, and especially on Google, man. Google is your friend. If you guys didn't know, Google is your friend. And I set up, man. I have maybe 9-10 pieces of audio equipment, because I know what I want to sound like.
Right.
At one point, I was really into ESSB.
Extended sideband.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And I was trying to match that profile, but it really never happened for me. So I'm like at something like extended side.
I mean,
something like it,
Those guys are running 6K wide too.
Oh my God!
I mean, really? No kidding.
Oh yeah.
And they're making it sound like AM, man.
It sounds like AM.
I talked to a guy a couple of days ago. He's on the West Coast. NA1AN, something like that. And my God, I said, what are you talking on? And he started telling me, and I said to myself, and mentally, I know what he's doing. And man, his audio was incredible. So I know he had to be at least 6 or 7 wide. Easy. And the 7300 only give you about right at 3. It's actually about 2.6 is what the 7300 give you. But I tell you what, I'm giving it all she can handle.
I was about to say I can push a lot of bandwidth going towards that radio. I've seen it push about 3.5.
Oh, really?
But yep, if you go KG1MM has got a couple of videos on what he's done to push the 7300 outside of his comfort zone. It won't do 4 or anything like that, but you can get it a little bit past 3, and it sounds really good. It just. And I don't remember what software he was using to do that, but his videos are a little hard to watch sometimes. But
really, I like that guy, man. I should have been watching him all the time, dude. I think he's a character.
That's one way to put it.
I think he's a character.
I've learned a lot from him with the 7300 and how to make the 7300 sound better. He does a great job on that.
Joe Brett, you're doing that thing again. You're not
talking.
Googling.
Yeah, man, I'm in the chat room, man. I'm in the chat room.
I told him when I watched the first videos, I was like, I wasn't sure what to think about you because you never talking, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And I got him on a private line, I think Saturday, and this guy was talking, man.
Shut me up.
I filled out a whole notepad of information. I was like, man, who is this guy?
Yeah, he's that Elmer you never knew you had.
Man, I was like, wow, he gave me so much information. And I tell you what's hilarious. I had my phone, the phone talking to him. And do you know that phone picked up all our conversation? And I've gotten more ads from YouTube, buddy. Man, it's incredible. It's incredible.
Oh, yeah, that's funny.
So,
That's
Baron
great.
of Gray Matter, thanks for the $5 super chat. Hey, guys, I have some old ARRL logbooks from the 40s, 50s, and 60s. They are my grandfather's. Do people collect those, or are they interested? There are some folks who try to put together contacts. Like, I tried to find contacts that my grandfather may have made, and I haven't been able to find them yet because most of the people that my grandfather made contacts with are probably no longer with us. But he was 93 when he passed away, so
hey, if I can ask
that far to get those contacts might be tough. But there are people that are out actively looking for that stuff.
Baron, if you don't mind, Baron, if I can ask you something, and if it's not too much trouble, look under Whiskey 1 Foxtrot Yankee Golf. I have my grandfather's call sign from 1933. You look at it. Even if you just took a JPEG of it and just shoot it to me, I'm good on QRZ. I would appreciate something like that because
JPEG,
we were talking
otherwise known as image,
whatever you guys want, whatever you guys call that newfangled,
a
GIF. So listen, we were talking earlier about the call books. I remember guys getting excited when new call book. It was just like how the regular consumer would get the new telephone books. I would run to the edge of the street to get the new phone books. Make sure you look us up, look at the pizza places, look at everything, in the yellow pages, the blue pages. But when the call book came out, that was like extra sweet. It was just so extra sweet. Baron, Whiskey 1 Foxtrot Yankee Golf, W1FYG. Fine young gentleman right here. So if you don't mind, no trouble. Don't go crazy. Just look for it. Shoot it. Just shoot me a picture of it. I would like something like that because I got some pictures of him in the ham shack back in the 50s, down in my shack. I have them framed. It's sort of like that memory. It's that personal memorabilia, that we all have when a family member. It's some stuff like that is sweet to me. It really is. So thank you.
I'll share this for those of you who haven't been to my QRZ page. So that's my granddad working the radio.
Oh, wow.
And that's the spring of 1959. And I got it in there. There's K5 QBF. That was when he was licensed. That was the first time it appeared in the call book. So his information in there. And there's a story behind this radio. And I'll run back in a minute and grab it. But there's a YouTube page called 100 Watts in a Wire. And I asked them, I was like, what is this? And I know the transmitter is here and I know this is the receiver, but what is this? And I said, I would like to, try to track down the equipment that he was using. And I had someone reach out to me that said, hey, I have one of those that's been sitting on my shelf for 25 years. If you want it, I'll send it to you. Nice. So I have this receiver sitting in the room over there that's waiting for my next shack. When I put it in, I'm gonna set that receiver up.
Shane, you got to promise us one thing. When you get your extra, I want to see that QRZ page upgraded because it says I just recently got to general. Yeah. Please make a note.
I gotta get there.
Please, you will. You will.
Man, that's so dope that you have his information, man. That's incredible. That's a good look. I would have that picture all over my room.
when the shack is done, this picture will be. I only have that one picture, and my mom took a picture of a picture, but I will have the rest of the memorabilia moved to my shack when I get there. But I don't want to move it right now because most of the stuff that's ham radio related that he had is quite old, and I don't want it to sit in an apartment while I wait to build a house somewhere. So when it's time, it'll be moved into my shack, and he's gonna have his KB, whole corner back there.
KB, you're very lucky, and I'll tell you why. And you're very blessed, and I'm sure you know that already. But I'm going to tell you ham radio why you're blessed. Someday, if I ever get the opportunity, I'm going to show you a picture of my grandfather operating in his shack, and it was back in the 50s. It was all AM, and he was probably running about 2,000 watts.
he was running PRP.
And one of the stories, that my grandfather and I lost my father when I was very young. I was 7, so him, and many other gentlemen in my family were really my fathers, my mentors. But one of the stories that always stuck out, and I got a lot of stories, but this is a good one. It was a hot summer night, and he's playing around with about a lot of power, and the humidity must have been in. And the humidity must have been in the air. And he always said, because back then in the 50s, let's face it, our electrical, how you do AC into the shack is totally different.
Yeah.
Everything. But he used to feel the electricity in the entire room where the light bulbs, the switches would be off, and all of a sudden things start glowing. And one night when he saw the street light from out his window, he was on a second floor house. And as he was tapping the key, the street light was but he just felt the humidity in the air, and like he'd get a little scared, but he's like, because of course grounding is a total, we've talked about grounding here before, and it's like it's a rabbit hole in itself.
Right.
And
the only thing I know about grounding is my parents used to do it to me when I was younger.
Right. But we're lucky. There was no such thing as the air conditioning. That's why they say, back in the winter, the ham radio shacks were always the warmest. Nobody ever ran heat. If you had your shack in the basement, you didn't run heat to the basement. You didn't have to.
The amplifier kept it warm.
Run the amp.
Yeah.
Mike, thanks for the shout out. Ham Radio Tube for the $10. KB definitely needs to come to the hunting lease for field day. This guy doesn't even need an antenna. He just radiates positivity.
I think he does. Mike is right.
You're absolutely right, Mike.
Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thanks. You guys are kind. What do you guys do at the hunting lease? What do you guys hunt? Deer?
We hunt DX
contacts.
Oh, cool. That's perfect.
I love it. I love it when I can work them. When I can work these guys, and it hasn't been as much as I like. And like Winter Field Day is going to be another one. I want to work these guys. I jump up and down when I can work these guys from Connecticut, 100 watts in a wire. And there's been a few times I have messed with them, and I'll go over to 10 watts. But it's such an adrenaline rush, like my first contact in 1989. It is such I don't care if I work, our other buddy Molson in Canada, Steve pops in. I think Joe Brett, you and I have worked a couple times. It is so fun working other ham radio YouTubers and people in our chat.
Absolutely.
The adrenaline rush is great.
I'm confused because I'm looking at Shane and you guys. I don't have Shane in my logbook, and I'm like,
Because we live too close to each other.
Maybe that's what the deal is, because I'm like, man, I don't have none of these guys in my. When I got Joe Brett in my logbook, dude, I did like the happy dance for like 25.
Yes, you do that. You do that.
I was like, I got Joe Brett. You know what I'm saying? So, man, that's awesome. I'll be looking more.
Next time you go live and Steve has his antenna up, I'll point his step IR your direction from South Carolina, and I'll hit you that way.
You got a contract with Steve?
Are you a regular?
You actually remote into his antenna, really?
Yep. I can remote into his station, yes.
You don't use other remotes no more? No,
I just use his. The other ones are too expensive. Steve charges me a great price.
All right, now KB, for everybody here,
and I mess with his oven with the RF.
Yeah.
Because he came home one day and he's like, "Hey, my have you been on the radio? My oven was like at 175 degrees." And I said, "Yeah, I was on 10 meters."
Oh wow,
Samsung.
Yeah,
KB,
so he's got a. Go ahead.
Good. I wanted to ask KB, when you go live, anything regular between us and all of the people here in the chat? Do you have like a scheduled day and time that we can normally find you?
I did. This year I'm starting Mondays and Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Central Time. I haven't posted that on my live yet, but I'll do that. I'll probably do it tonight. But Mondays and Wednesdays for certain at 6 p.m. Central Time. And I'm going to pick one more night to do it at. My issue with scheduling was I do this as for fun. And when you start scheduling, now I got to get to the radio room. And some days I'm sitting here and I don't talk on the radio. I'm doing other stuff, playing around, listening, and I don't want to talk. And so I didn't want to do a schedule because now it makes it more like a job. But I do understand it's easier to schedule. So Mondays and Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Central Time. Don't meet me there. Beat me there.
There you go. And guys, put him in your ham. Put him in your ham alert. Put him in the ham alert.
Put K5 KAB in your ham alert. Then you'll know when he's live.
Yes.
I'm making a note.
I have a video on that where you can put your ham alert on your desktop so that you don't have to be on your phone, but that's a whole different story.
Yep. Oh, wow. That's interesting. That's good. Yeah, I have a lot of those guys, they ring the bell. So when you ring the bell, of course, YouTube notifies you when I do go live. And so a lot of them come back in and join in. So that's cool. We're trying to get there.
Any social media?
Thank you.
Is any social media, Twitter, Instagram?
No, not yet. I was just last night saying that I'm going to have to make me some social media platforms. And I did open up what's the room, Joe?
Discord?
I did open up a Discord, but I haven't really pushed it out yet. I just kind of opened it up and started tinkering with it to see what is there. And I'm going to start some Discord and some YouTube and some Instagram pages and do all that. I do my own personal Instagram. I found a lot of success in is I tell the guys every week when I'm on live, whoever gives me like this great audio, great signal, I kind of spotlight them. I'll take shorts of them and upload them all over my YouTube and Instagram.
The shorts.
They have taken off. Oh, man. So I'm making a deal of that, and I got to figure out some more stuff. I got to come up with some giveaways, something kind of sweeten the pot.
Oh, and, we can help you. We can help you with that. Come on,
this is a great time to talk about that. There, KB.
I would say I don't know if Quirky QRP would get in on that.
Right.
Well, I'm just saying, don't you already kind of have a giveaway little thing?
I do. I'm calling it a chase for the bourbon. I'm telling all my subscribers, man, the first one to give me 20 live contacts on air, I'm sending them out a brand new bottle of bourbon. I got a company working on putting my QSL card on the bottle.
Nice.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. So I'm working on that, and that's like my little giveaway right now.
Steve, get your antenna up.
Screw you, I'm getting it first.
Well, I'm just curious, like next time I make contact with you and you call for another station and I just keep calling, and does that count? Or has it got to be like different calendar days?
Can get 2 contacts every time he calls you.
Listen,
that's the emails that we exchange.
Joe Brett's going to get really mad if I get that bottle of bourbon. The guy who doesn't drink before him. Joe, tell you what. Joe, tell you what. I will give you the bottle of bourbon. If I get it before you, I will give you my bottle.
As long as I can afford to get it.
10 cups.
I have a neighbor that I've never met. He's probably about, I don't know, maybe 4 miles from me. And now that I'm doing this show, he comes in and he's my neighbor. And I never met the guy. And I told him, I said, man, I don't think it's fair. And he's like up to like 16 or 17. And I'm like, you know.
Hand deliver that bottle.
That's like the ground wave propagation there.
All right, KB, listen, our buddy, listen, there's a over there. Check out. I want you to write down that call sign right there. Kilo Hotel 2 Sierra Romeo.
Oh, wow.
You write down. James is a brother on this show. He's a brother to everybody on a lot of our shows. He's a great guy.
He's fantastic, yes.
And he just made you a great offer. Look him up.
I don't know how he makes any money, but
I don't know, right? He gives everything away. That's because he said that aside from what we gave away, he sold a lot of stuff off of our recommendations.
yeah, that's good stuff.
Well,
He has some really good.
It's
This
great
is his
stuff.
T-shirt.
You can even get an Izzo shirt. You can even get an Izzo T-shirt.
Izzo shirt. Bro, do you even Izzo? So we are almost at the 2.5 hour mark. And KB, you have been an absolute fantastic guest tonight. Thank you so much. You're welcome anytime you'd like to come hang out with us. Just come hang out with us. But thank you so much for joining us. We should probably start wrapping it up.
2.5 hours, man. Jeez.
Yeah, that did it.
KB, what the heck did you do to our show, man?
Wow. And to be honest, I said I was going to try to hang it to at least about an hour and I was going to dip. But man, I didn't realize
KB, I'm mad at you. We talked radio tonight. Normally, we don't talk this much radio.
We talked a lot of radio. Yeah, absolutely. And we managed, we're still at 125, 130 people that are watching right now.
They're here
so
for
those
KB,
of you,
man. They're here for KB.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. So I'll make it quick on my end. We'll do a quick round the horn. KB, we'll end up with you. Promote anything you'd like to promote. Talk about yourself. That's kind of what we do on the round the horn at the end. So as always, I would like to say thank you for joining us each and every week on Tuesday night here at the Clubhouse. We appreciate all of you guys. Thank you for all those the super chats. We've got, let's see. And my computer will not bring them up. There we go. Let's see. Bill Myers with a 10. Jody Vassar with 10. Thanks so much. Jason 5. Baron Gray Matter, thanks for the $5. Ham Radio Tube, thanks for the 10. And Baron Gray Matter, thanks for the second $5 super chat. So thank you so much, and thank you for those that use your member shout out. We really, really, really appreciate you guys. We have a lot of things planned for this this upcoming next year. So stick around with us. Work on that extra. If you want to test, we have a monthly test session through our Discord. The links to the Discord is down below if you want to come hang out with us. And KB, you need to be in our Discord. So make sure you hit that button so you can come say hi and hang out. All that kind of cool stuff. It was a pleasure to meet you. Awesome hanging out with you tonight. I hope you join us again. Steve, over to you.
Yep. So I'm going to be, we're hoping to hear back from the city on whether or not we can get back in that shack underneath the water tower. Yeah. We're at least going to get in there to clean everything out. Looks like I got people interested in some of that old gear that some of the guys were saying, oh, we'll just take it down to the dump. So it may end up in my shed in the back. Don't tell the wife till somebody can come get it. I will try to do some videos on it. I am going to go actually fly that water tower with the drone this week. But we'll see what happens.
All right. Over to you, Izzo.
All right.
All right.
First and foremost, I want to thank everybody. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. I promise. Everybody reached, yes, it will. Everybody reached out to me over the last 24, 48 hours. This was an anniversary thing for me with Susan. I want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for reaching out on me. Many people did it in so many different ways, and it doesn't make a difference. The point is you wanted just to say hello to me, and that means a whole hell of a lot to me. So when I say 7 3s and 88s to you guys, I mean that for some serious brotherly love. Mm-hmm. Winter Field Day. I haven't decided whether I'm going to be here in the tent or if I'm going to go out somewhere, maybe a Poda Park or whatever. I haven't decided. It doesn't make a difference. I'm leaving work early on Saturday, and that's going to give me plenty of time to make some last minute decisions. What do I want to do? But it doesn't make a difference. I'm going to be on the air. with my call sign W1FYG. Doesn't make a difference if I'm a one hotel, one outside. It doesn't make a difference. We're going to get on the air. Guys, just get on the air and have some fun. Whether you're chasing them, whether you're working them, get on. KB, I had a great smoke tonight because of you and my brothers here and all the brothers in the chat. So thank you. Thank you. And do not be a stranger. You be a stranger, man. I'm going to come and find you. I'm going to come and find you. I'm going to hunt you down. I'm Italian. And we find everybody. No, I'm only kidding. I'm kidding, man. Thank you.
Joe Brett.
Good stuff.
All right.
There you go.
K5YVY.
I love that.
That's how it ends the show.
That's about all I've got because I hadn't done anything. I thought I said, I really should pull something off the shelf or something and do a video. It's going to be raining all week, but I got stuff I could probably video inside or something. I don't know. But anyway, just want to say, KB, thank you. Thank you very much for blessing us with your presence and your energy. I think it's quite obvious if you paid attention to the chat that you was very well received and liked. And
absolutely.
I hope we can reel you back in, sucker you back in again sometime.
Because you're over to you, buddy.
Yeah. Well, listen, man, this has been an outstanding, man. Enjoyed every piece of it. Like I said earlier, I said, man, I can possibly do it. My shows are only an hour. And I said, man, I could possibly do an hour and I'm going to have to ditch out of here. But man, we're 2 hours and 30 minutes into it. And it felt like it was 15 or 20 minutes. That's because of the brotherhood you guys have. And I definitely appreciate every one of you. And I know you all had to agree to bring me in. And I definitely appreciate it. And man, this has been a treat above masses, man. And as much as I would want to come back and redo it again, I don't want to be the one to ask to come back. So
you're welcome back anytime.
Oh man, you're family. No, you're family.
The keys under the map, man. Just show up. Just show up.
Family doesn't ask to come over. They just show up. Either at the good time or a wrong. There is no wrong time.
I am definitely up to come back, man. I thought it was a pretty awesome time. And man, I tell you, you guys, Joe Brett, you have my number, and email is good on QRZ. Man, reach out and hit me and say, hey, KB, what are you doing Tuesday? And if I'm available, man, I have no problem. I have thoroughly enjoyed myself, man. And you guys have something awesome here. Initially, I must say, what kind of room talks ham radio room that really don't talk about ham radio? That's pretty interesting to me. That's a real good. It
happened. It just happened.
It happened by accident.
All right.
It was a happenstance.
Listen, KB, you have to just do one thing for us.
What's that?
If you go on any other show, you're going to tell them you went on the Clubhouse first. All right, that's all you're going to tell. I don't care if you go on. I don't care if you go on that Coffee and Ham Radio. You talk to the ape. You talk to that ape. You talk to that Jim. I don't care. You talk to that Jason 2.0 guy. I don't care if you talk to Ham Radio Mike. You tell them the boys at Clubhouse.
They sent
all
you.
You got to say that they sent you. That's right.
Yeah,
we said.
How to watch the wire.
Listen,
that's right.
I don't think none of those other guys even know who I am.
They will after this.
You wait.
We have a way. Yeah, we have a way of
beginning, man.
Yeah,
just the beginning.
Yeah, we have a way of just giving you a push.
You guys are awesome, man. I actually asked Joe Brett. I was talking to him. I know that my personality sometimes is over the top, but that's just who I am, And so I was asking. I said, man, I'm struggling with, what do I need to bring? Do I need to because I kind of tell the way you guys kind of laid back. I said, do I need to bring it in? He's like, no, I want you to bring who you are. And so, man, you guys accepted it. I definitely appreciate it, man. And I have had a blast. It's been awesome, man. Thank you guys for inviting me.
All right. Fun. Thank you so much. I can't talk. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys here next Tuesday night. If everyone would like to look at their camera and give us that awkward wave, I will hit the button. We will see you next Tuesday. 73.
Bye. another guy inducted into the family.